Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, a standalone 5th edition actual play Dungeons and Dragons podcast, where each episode is its own self-contained story. Think of it like the MCU, but for people with beautiful voices as well as beautiful faces. Aww. This week's honey-toned superheroes are Borb.
Hello. I am Borb. I am a 6'10" barbarian. Usually I am dressed in a loincloth, but I hung that up recently for regular street clothes. I have a large cape and an axe strapped to my back. Also, me working on English.
And who's that trying to bite my kneecaps? Why, it's Pidge.
More like I'm being kneed in the skull by everyone tall around me. Y'all are too tall. I am a 3'4" rock gnome transfiguration wizard. I'm a Nuzlocke challenge character, so I can only take transfiguration spells, and I'm a level 13 wizard.
Very nice. And, of course, making his Fire Breathing Kittens debut, we have Nesgrax.
Hello, I'm Nesgrax Skarsbarush. I'm a 5'10" brass dragon. And I am a warlock, and I have magic powers. It's amazing.
Now, is that just Nesgrax or Lord Nesgrax? I'm just filling out the police report for later on.
In the old days, it would have been Lord Nesgrax, but now I've been kicked out of my family's home for dealing with gambling and prostitutes. And so it's just Nesgrax. So just don't be formal.
You've probably got quite the file in the police anyway. I'll just put it on the pile.
Would it be the first guild member?
Oh, won't be the last.
Yeah.
Anyway, we begin this adventure in a small carriage on a long winding road after a hard day's adventuring. Pidge, Borb, and Nesgrax are alone in the carriage, sat across from each other, watching the world go by slowly. The day's adventures are a blur. You vaguely remember fighting and running, but that's all behind you now as you stare out of the window.
Me have fun.
Guys, I know... Me too. I know I'm new at this, but I love you guys, and I love this, and it's great. I'm having so much fun.
Welcome to the guild.
If I know Pidge, she's taking a short rest. So her head is on the window and she's recovering a spell slot. As it bumps her skull, like bashes into the glass just a little bit, and she's just a little bit displeased.
Yeah, I've had like training coach journeys like that. You try and get to sleep, you got your head tilted on the window, and you're like, poof, poof, oh, leave me alone.
Isn't everything for Pidge short?
Oh, maybe I'm on the cushioned side of the carriage.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Well.
Is this a covered carriage?
Yeah.
I was imagining like the Elder Scrolls 5, like where it opens up and you're like in an open carriage, sort of bumping along down the road.
No, it's a lovely close carriage. It's nice and comfy on the inside. I want to say red velvet, seat coverings. It's all very comfortable. There are curtains on the windows, and so there's a real kind of sense of comfort in there. Can I just get a quick perception check from everyone, just to start things off?
Oh, this is going to be my first roll ever.
Ah.
Let's see what happens.
Aww.
Yeah. I have to find it on my thing. Ah, here it is. Click that. Oh, look, it's happening. I got a 10.
I have a 16.
11.
Okay, so what does everyone see? Well, I'd say Pidge is, just trying to have a nice relaxing time and just have a nap, if all possible. Nesgrax, I think, is what do you want to be doing to pass the time? Just something that'll take your mind off the journey.
I'm probably perusing my Book of Shadows.
Okay, so you're reading it. Do you doodle in the corners, or is it a strictly no doodling policy in your?
No, I don't care. I doodle everywhere. I try to make it more friendly because it's made of eyelids, so it's a bit gross. So I try to make it more less gross by doodling unicorns and things on it.
Oh, Oh, gross.
Lovely. Borb, with your head stuck out of the window like a dog, you see everything in the distance. So there's a lovely forest. It's kind of evergreen. There's this slight mist on the grass as you trundle along. You see some birds fly up into the sky, and you hear maybe a little faint rumbling in the distance. You think at this point maybe a storm, but you can't really tell.
Me think a storm's coming.
Oh no. What are we going to do?
We're in
Well,
we're
the
in
good
carriage.
news is, as we've discussed, you're in a covered wagon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Forgot. We'll just keep going. It'll be fine.
Well, that was a short episode. Thank you.
Borb pulls his head back in.
Should we try to find a hotel nearby or just set up camp or something to avoid the storm?
Borb nods. Sounds like a good idea.
Pidge says as she sleeps on the side.
I nudge Pidge.
What?
I hold Pidge's nose until she starts batting at it.
That's a horrible way to wake up. Oh, okay. Well, I rub at my nose. I open my eyes. Huh?
Borb says there's a storm coming. I think we should probably try to take shelter from it at some point soon.
Oh, okay. Are there hotels near us? There's a woods, but is there a hotel?
Is there a town nearby?
At this point, you think it's unlikely that, from what you can gather, you're on your, well, from what I can gather as a DM, you're on your way back to Niqamui after a hard day's adventuring. And it's quite a long road. You've got the 2 horses, which are kind of on autopilot, because apparently we have autopilot horses in this world now.
Their names are Uber and Lyft.
Yeah. So they're heading back, so not really, but you feel fairly confident that in the event of a storm, you'd probably be okay unless it was a massively violent one.
Okay.
Unless
Cool.
it started raining men. This makes sense with the last episode, I promise.
All right, I listened to it. It does make sense.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
However, as the carriage continues to trundle along, maybe a couple of minutes, maybe 10 minutes go by, the rumbling starts to get louder and louder, up to the point where even Borb manages to figure out that this might not actually be a storm.
This not natural.
Partially because the feeling in the air is too dry for a storm, partially because there aren't that many dark clouds ahead, but also because the rumbling feels like it's coming from underneath the ground rather than above it.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh,
So I would say you only have a moment to prepare for what's coming up.
oh my. You two, this is a broom of flying. You should use it. I hand it to you two because it can hold 2 people. So it should be you guys.
Borb points at his cape. I have coverage.
Okay, Nesgrax, fly! And I jump out of the carriage. But I don't do it as a rock gnome. I do it as a peregrine falcon with my 1 free polymorph per day.
Nice.
Borb exits the carriage and unfurls his cape of flying, taking to the air.
I grab the broom from Pidge and I fly into the air after Borb.
Okay, so Pidge transforms into a peregrine falcon and flies straight out of the window. Borb, how does that look, Borb? Because you're pretty big. Not to make the obvious, but how does that look?
He shoves the door open and just goes tumbling out.
Like the cape catches him and just flies off.
Yeah.
Lovely. And then Nesgrax leaps onto the broom and flies off just as you manage to escape the carriage. The ground beneath it erupts, and out from under it comes an enormous centipede-like monster. It's all Well, how about... actually, no. Someone throw me a nature check and we'll see what you think. I will tell you that it's blue and big.
I am not good at nature.
Actually, I do have experience. I do have ability in nature, so I might as well. Oh,
I forgot about the horses, you guys.
Uber and Lyft.
Whoops.
I got a 21.
Ooh, that's nice. Borb, I'm not sure where you would have seen one of these before me. Certainly not in a book, but you recognize it as a remoraz, which is an enormous kind of centipede type monstrosity.
Oh, this is gonna be fun then.
Okay.
Do they eat horses, Borb? Seeing the look of recognition in your eyes, I'm like, are those horse-eating centipede mouth parts there?
We'll find out.
Oh, no.
Everyone, please roll me initiative.
Hey. Oh, no. I don't know how to do this. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Oh, Jesus. I got a 7.
I got a 13.
12.
Okay, 13 for Borb, 12 for Pidge, and then, was that a 7 for Nesgrax?
7, yeah.
Okay, so believe it or not, with an initiative of 13, Borb goes first.
Okay, Borb is going to dive at the enemy and is going to swing his battle axe.
Woo! Borb
Ooh.
is so brave.
Yeah. And he's also going to go rage. So, alright, rolling. 17 to hit.
Yes, that does indeed hit.
I'm also going to roll my second attack. Oh, probably an 8, probably misses.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Rolling damage for the one hit attack that hit. Total of 20 points of damage.
20 points of damage, wonderful, okay.
As Borb's strong, muscular arms, which
Yes.
you're a minotaur, by the way, right? Those are red, furry arms. Grip that axe and swing it into what color's the thing?
It's kind of a darkish blue, hints of purple, kind of like yellow spikes down the back.
Ooh.
Under normal circumstances, it'd be really pretty.
Yeah, if it's not eating your carriage,
Oh.
you're like, whoa, beetle, shiny. Does the axe crack or slide along or score the shell of the creature?
I would say that the axe swings into one of the spines along its back, and it kind of bounces off with almost a dull thud. But you do hear a kind of a twinkle of a crack.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, Pidge, you're up. Assuming Borb is all done.
Yeah, Borb is done.
Right.
Okay. Pidge remembers there are horses and would like to know the situation of the horses. Were they consumed in the eruption of the earth?
No, what happened with the carriage and the horses is the Remoraz erupts out of the earth, not quite knocking the carriage over, but certainly startling the horses, so they're kind of bolting for the trees.
Ooh. Oh my. Is the carriage intact behind the horses?
Mostly. It looks quite wobbly. One of the
Okay.
wheels is quite close to coming off.
Okay, well then that means that we can definitely find those much slowed down horses. They'll be like leaving a path of smooth grass behind them and traveling not in the trees, so they'll be easy to find as a peregrine falcon. So that means I can drink tea with and get to know this delightful shiny creature that I just met. Or attack it.
Yeah, if it survives, yes.
It did attack us, so I think I'm going to go for the second one. So,
It certainly did attack
the problem
first.
is that polymorph is concentration. So if I attack it, I'm going to have to stand on that ground. And I think you guys probably don't want to defend me. So I peregrine falcon down to the ground and transform into a T-Rex, which is someone you won't have to defend, shall we say. And that ends my turn. There's a large creature with tiny arms next to this shiny beetle shell.
Okay, we're set up for a proper Godzilla fight here. Wonderful. Okay, it's the Remoraz's turn. Believe it or not, he's going to attack the T-Rex.
Yep. Tank Pidge.
Yeah. All right, sure.
So, is it leaving my attack range, or is it,
It's just kind of stood still, assuming kind of Pidge's drop right into the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it would have been smarter to leave the range, because then you would have gotten an opportunity attack if I had dropped down slightly outside it. I'll think of that next time. Yeah.
Don't worry. It's all right. If there was one word to describe the way Fire Breathing Kittens usually does combat, strategic is not one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So he's going to, I think he's going to bite for the T-Rex. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to assume a 27 hits.
It does. It does.
That is good to know. So I'm not going to roll these because it takes far too long. So just take 40 piercing damage.
holy.
I go down from 136 to 96.
See, it's absolutely fine. So it's a T-Rex. You can take it.
Yeah.
But so just imagine, if you will, the enormous kind of centipede with massive jaws, kind of like just snakes its head forwards towards a T-Rex and kind of grabs one of its piddly little arms
Ah.
and just kind of chomps down on it. Okay, Nesgrax, you're up.
Now, can I ask, if I cast Eldritch Blast, is that going to hurt Pidge? Is she in the vicinity? No. I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Wonderful. Okay, Eldritch Blast is a magic spell attack, so just roll a d20 and add your spell attack modifier to it.
Okay, so that was a nat 20, and my spell attack modifier has got to be this
Don't
plus
worry
7.
about it. If you roll a nat 20, you don't have to worry about adding your modifier to it.
Don't worry about
it. Okay.
Auto hits.
Okay, if I remember correctly, with Eldritch Blast, you send off multiple bursts of magic, so you need to roll for each one of those. I think at level 13 you send is it 3 or 4?
I think it's 3.
But it's going to be more because of the crit.
Okay, so roll 3 times.
Yes, because you rolled a 20 when you rolled to hit, you take the number of dice that you would normally roll and you roll that number of dice twice. And at the very end, you add that plus 3 or whatever modifier you have.
Oh my god.
So we'll figure that out at the end. So roll twice more for me.
Twice more, okay. So what I get there, 19.
19 also hits.
All right. And then I need to add my modifier. Is that right?
I mean, if you roll like a natural 19, that's going to hit anyway. So let's just move on to the next one.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Unless you've got a -3, which you probably shouldn't.
But yeah, in the future, that's when you would.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
AC of 16. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
So what? Sorry, is it me to do something now? I got the damage?
You've just got to roll your d20 one more time.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, well, no, I think that was a 19 total.
Yeah, that's okay.
How many hits do you have?
We're on 2 out of 2 so far. If you shoot off 3 blasts.
Okay. So sorry. I did 2 d20. One was a 15. One was a 4. So that was a 19 total.
No, it's 2 because that wasn't a case of rolling 2 d20s and adding them together. They're separate shots. So the rolled 4 won't hit, but the other one will. Adding your modifier to it, so that's 2 hits. So what's the damage on that look like?
So I do a d10 for the damage, right? So I got a 7.
That's for each hit. So we've got
your first blast is going to roll. You roll twice for.
Yep.
Okay. So 1 was a 7, 1 is a 4,
and then you add your.
Yeah.
Meaning that you did 11 damage.
All right.
Plus your modifier.
Because you got a critical, so it's more than.
Plus modifier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is your charisma as a.
My charisma, which is. My charisma is high. It's a +2.
That means that you did 7 plus 4 is 11 plus 2 is 13 damage with your first hit. Good job.
All right. Hey, all right.
Yeah.
And now one more D10.
One more D10.
Because your second attack also hit.
Okay. So that's a 9 plus 2.
Plus 2.
So 11.
Okay.
So you did 11 damage.
All right.
So you did 13 damage with your first hit and 11 damage with your second hit, meaning that you hit for 24 damage, which is slightly more than Borb with his axe blow. Because Borb missed the second time he struck. See? So you're hitting on par with the level 13 teammates. You can feel strong.
Look at me.
So Nesgrax looses off a couple of blasts of Eldritch magic to find their target. They hit up one up each nostril, and the other one just hits into a hard carapace on its underside. And we're back to the top of the round, so there's Borb. Hit me.
I'm going to use Reckless Attack, which means that the enemy will get advantage against attack rolls against me, but I get advantage on my attack rolls, so...
Yep.
18.
Advantage Nesgrax means that he rolls the dice twice and takes the higher number.
Okay.
Total 18 and a total of 16. Oh, hold on, I forgot to... Yeah, total of 16 and 18.
The 18 hits, the 16 does not.
Okay. So... 25 points of damage with a blow that does hit.
Bueno.
Nice.
So as Borb decides to kind of stick with a tried and trusted method of hit hard, he takes his axe and swings it into the exact same spot he did beforehand. So he manages to kind of like properly kind of take not quite a run up because he's flying, but a fly up, I guess. Right? Flies right up, swings his axe into the exact same spot, and manages to smash one of the barbs across its back clean off, and it falls to the ground with a triumphant thud.
Whoa.
But it's angry now. I'm just saying.
Uh-oh.
Borb doesn't really have any other abilities.
I mean, I'll let you swear at it for free if you like. I'm quite happy with that. No? Okay, Pidge.
All right. Pidge remembers why Tyrannosauruses aren't the best thing to polymorph into. I've got a bite and a tail attack, but I can't attack the same enemy with them. So Pidge shrugs her little arms and opens her large Tyrannosaurus Rex head. Yeah. So it bites down on the shiny blue insect beetle shell and misses with a 15 to hit. And that's the end of my turn.
So I think instead of missing, because it doesn't make sense to kind of miss.
My teeth slide along the shell.
You manage to kind of try and like bite like a particularly kind of scaly bit, and it just kind of doesn't go through. So your teeth just kind of like scrape along the edge, but it makes a really uncomfortable sound. If that's
Oh no!
if that helps at all.
Like a chalkboard. Great.
It's real nasty.
Mm.
Okay, it's the Remoraz's turn now, and after having a chunk of its own body rather unceremoniously whacked off him, he's going to go for Borb up in the sky. He's basically a fly to him, a really annoying fly that keeps... You know what it's like when you catch like a mosquito on you, and you're like, no, not today, son. You go for the kill, don't you?
All right.
This has gone really graphic. Borb, does a 22 hit you?
Yes, it does. And don't forget, you're dealing with... you have advantage on me, so...
I do indeed, so I'd forgotten that, so thank you for your honesty. I'll just... Good news, it's not a nat 20. So you still hit, but not massively.
I try to be honest, so...
No, it's
like
definitely appreciated.
So how much damage am I going to take?
You are going to take 40 piercing damage, and this is something I forgot last time, so I'm going to bring it up now, that you are now grappled.
Oh, fun.
Ooh.
It has a little hard time getting through my fur coat, but it does some damage.
Yeah. So the grapple has an escape DC of 17. And so until the grapple ends, the target is restrained and the Remoras can't bite another target. So its teeth are still clamped over you.
Oh.
And you're just kind of like straining inside its mouth.
Okay.
Right. Nesgrax, what you got for me this time?
Okay, I'm going to cast Frostbite. I rolled an 11 plus a 7, so that was an 18.
That hits.
And I did 11 damage.
11 damage. That does cold damage, right?
That does.
It's frostbite. I'm assuming it's cold
Yeah.
damage. Otherwise, it's really badly named.
It's got a little snowflake here, so I'm going to go with, probably cold.
Well, I've got some bad news for you.
Oh, no.
The Remoras is completely immune to cold damage.
Oh.
That is a problem.
It's good to learn
Yeah.
that, though.
Yeah,
Thank you for
exactly.
discovering.
So as you shoot off a blast of cold energy from your fingertips, it hits the Remoras and just kind of melts around it. And he doesn't notice at all. He's still tussling with a T-Rex and a Borb. Okay, top of the round. Borb, you are encased in jaws and teeth, and it's all very disgusting.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to try to get out of this grapple. 25 total.
That definitely gets out. So you manage to pry its jaws apart, and your cape just kind of flies directly upwards and pulls you out of its grasp.
Then that means I only get one attack roll this round, so I'm going to swing with reckless attack. Total of 19 for 27 points of damage. Maximum.
Very,
Dang.
very nice. Okay, so this is very much becoming like a grudge match between Borb and the monster, isn't it? But let's see if we can add a third party into this. Pidge. The Pidge Rex.
Pidge shakes her T-Rex head, opens her jaws, and does a 17 hit.
It does! Congratulations!
Okay, I get to bite it for 35 damage as my fierce T-Rex teeth take on the insect shell.
Okay, so as the Remoras is kind of like tussling with Borb up much higher, it reaches its neck up, so its throat is exposed, and Pidge kind of leaps forward. I'm not quite sure what the size difference is between the T-Rex and the Remoras. It's not something you think about every day. But I imagine you have to kind of leap forward a bit and kind of like just aim upwards and try and grab the throat. But you do. And you tear off a chunk of flesh from its unprotected throat.
Picture like when the roof of or the hood of a car gets bent in an accident. That's what my teeth do to the shell.
Ooh.
I'm gonna need to floss after this.
That's nasty.
No.
Although I will ask you to take 10 fire damage as you've kind of like taken a bite into it because it's got very hot blood.
Noted. Down to 86, which is 20 more than I have as a Pidge.
That's worrying. Okay, it's the Remoras' turn again, and he's going to turn his attention to the T-Rex because he's not having the best of days. But that is going to be a 24 to hit a little Pidge Rex.
I'm a huge-sized beast, and that hits me.
Okay, big Pidge Rex. Okay, so that's another 40 piercing damage. And then you are grappled as well.
Can it grapple a huge-sized beast? Because there's size limitations in 5e for grappling.
I will have a look because, like many other rules, no one really knows the rules for grapple offhand. The target of your grapple must be no more than one size larger than you. So it should be fine because this is huge.
Oh, we're both huge.
So Borb can't grapple it, but he can be grappled. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Tyrannosaurus Pidge is grappled. Hey, Nesgrax.
Okay.
You if you take a looking at the Remoraz, it's looking a little worse for wear. So he's kind of bleeding from the throat. He's got a couple of spines which are not looking amazing. So you think he's not quite on his last legs, but he's not looking good.
Okay, I think I have something that can help us. It's not going to be me who takes him out, but I think I can hold the monster with my spell, Hold Monster. It's a 5th level enchantment. I don't know exactly what I need to do to make sure this works, but I can choose a creature within range, and unless the creature succeeds on a wisdom saving throw, they'll be paralyzed for the duration.
Well, very nice. And what is that spell save DC for me?
It needs to make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what do I need to do? Do I need to do anything?
You should have a spell save DC somewhere on your magic key.
Spell save DC.
It's 8 plus your proficiency plus your charisma.
8?
Your proficiency at level 13 should be 5, and you said earlier
I found it for you. It's 15. It's
okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I see it. Okay, gotcha. Yep. Okay.
Yep, 8 plus your level 13 proficiency of 5 plus your charisma of 2.
Ooh, okay.
And it does not have any particular wisdom proficiency, so it fails that, and therefore it is paralyzed.
Hooray.
Okay, so a paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't move or speak. And it auto fails strength and dex saving throws, and attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
And any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature, which is excellent.
Nice.
Guess who's within 5 feet? Grappled Pidge.
And Borb, which is also.
And Borb, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's automatic crit.
Okay, nice.
Oh,
One.
my damage is about to get. My damage output is about to go through the roof.
Automatic crit.
I think this is about to.
Yep.
Speaking of going through the roof, Borb.
Yes. Borb doesn't roll 2 dice when he crits. He rolls 4 dice when he crits.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I still have to roll, correct?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to... I don't need to use reckless attack anymore.
But you have advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have advantage
19
anyway.
for the first, 18 for the second.
Yep.
And since I automatic crit, let's change up the damage.
This is going to be a big one.
Yes. 35 and 32.
Oh, man.
Is that your damage?
Yes. I rolled pretty low on my
okay.
crit rolls.
So that's still 67 in total. Okay, let me just close this tab. Okay, I know how this is going to end. As Borb kind of flies down for another swing, he sees that the monster is completely paralyzed and unable to move. So what Borb does is kind of fly directly into the Remoraz's mouth and just starts spinning in midair. Like a crazy metal tornado. And it just gets ripped up. So, needless to say, it dead. However, I do have some extra descriptions for you. But, I was not expecting that big a number. Oh.
Yeah, Borb's not very accurate, but when he hits, he does serious damage.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Borb turns into basically a metal tornado and starts tearing up the inside of this giant monster and kind of like flies out of the top of his skull and kind of back towards the ground with the other two.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, the Remoras itself is kind of like teetering. It's almost as if it hasn't noticed it's just been murdered. So it's kind of teetering on its feet and just kind of like, and then it kind of like just kind of starts to topple and just kind of falls down towards the ground, like getting closer and closer, as if in slow motion, as if this was a cutscene. The Remoras falls ever closer towards the three guild members, and it just goes closer, closer, closer. The sun blots out in front of your eyes as this giant monster falls towards each of your faces, because as we know, it's massive. And then it just kind of goes whoop, and you all wake up in the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild.
Wow.
Now, your wake up, it's all very comfortable. You're in one of the nice side rooms of the guild hall. It's nice and comfy. There are hammocks, books, bean bags, and like everything you possibly want to kind of manage to wind down after a hard day's adventuring. So Pidge is lying in a hammock with a nice book. It's Kuotoa Bashiball for nerds. You just kind of got that rested over your face. Borb is slumped over two individual beanbags with a true health pamphlet wedged up his nose. And Nesgrax is lounging in the corner, clutching a small but surprisingly expensive jar of pickles.
Good callback. Guys, did that just happen?
Last time that happened, me drunk. Where were we?
So confused. I sit up in the hammock too fast. It spins a few times and I get tangled.
I go help Pidge get herself untangled.
Unceremoniously falling on the ground. I'm fine.
I'm looking at the ingredients on the pickles, and then I just like carefully screw the lid back on and put it off to the side.
Why you think they're bad pickles?
Just don't know.
Are the horses in the stable? I think to myself, and I pick myself up off from the ground next to the hammock, and I check on the horses.
Yeah. The horses are back where they should be. Kind of all safe and sound. Like nothing is. Looks like nothing has happened. The carriage is there as well, completely pristine. It's got just someone kind of like rubbing wax onto it, just kind of making it nice and shiny.
Oh, good. Okay, I go back to my friends and I say the horses are fine. Oh, good.
Yes, that's what I was worried about. The horses.
They've been here a long time, man.
So we all did that.
I don't want to have
right?
to tell Crud.
There's only one way to find out, and I stand up and I go to the door, and I open the door.
The door opens.
I go through the door and observe my surroundings.
Okay, so this is back into the main fire-breathing kittens hall. Pidge and Borb know it very well. Nesgrax, you've been through your initiation stuff, so you've had the tour. You've seen the board. You know where the bar is. It's all very familiar. Completely kind of as per normal.
Well, everything seems to be in order.
I look to behind the bar at the white-haired tiefling bartender. Is Nusi there?
Yeah, of course.
Nusi, what year is it?
This is going to be interesting because Nusi is going to have a surprisingly different accent than normal. So this is what we call the suspension of disbelief, on the basis that we probably don't want me doing a very insulting accent.
That's fine. It doesn't matter.
So, no, she just kind of like looks at you and goes, How much have you had to drink?
Is it still 49590? Question mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
What sort of question is that? I mean,
I've always wanted to ask that.
Look. She kind of like reaches over and kind of grabs a newspaper and just goes, it's the same date it's always been.
Well, that's concerning as well if it's always the same date.
I mean, like for this year, I mean, I'm not that clever, okay? Give me a break.
Oh, no, you're fine, Lucy. We're both ladies. I pat your hand. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, it's been a long shift.
A long shift. Speaking of that long shift, did you see me arrive today? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of came in as per normal. You seemed like a long day. You kind of covered in a lot of weird like goo and stuff. You just kind of went to go clean off. Went to go relax in the other room.
Was it blue goo? Was it kind of hot smelling?
I mean,
temperature-wise, spicy. It smelled caliente.
I mean, if I'm honest, I wasn't really paying attention, just because I've got a lot of other work to do. I'm not here just to, look at people coming in. I mean, that is part of the job, but it's not the whole thing.
Yeah. No, of course, you don't pay attention to me like you do Mendax. I've seen you guys sharing those eyes. But
hey, he's special, okay? Okay, don't go there.
No, I get it. No one stares at me. If they do, there's something wrong. So I head back to my friends, and I'm going to ask them a question. Hey, friends, did you all have that same dream?
You mean fighting Big Bug?
Yes.
Yeah, that
It was
one.
either a bug or a pickle. It's getting a little fuzzy now.
The giant fuzzy pickle.
I've got one way to solve this question, and that's I ask the person who's rubbing wax on the carriage how long was the carriage returned by me slightly damaged earlier today?
Do you really think we could fix a broken carriage this quick? No. This has been absolutely pristine since I got it.
Okay, so that Pidge is internally thinking to herself that means that it's not like I defeated the worm with my friends, Borb defeated the worm, and then we came back here, fell asleep, and then lost a few hours of our day, which could have been imagine if we defeated the worm at 5 p.m. and then we woke up at 7 p.m. with temporary amnesia, missing 3 hours. So that didn't happen.
Something weird going on here.
Pidge, would you mind giving me an Arcana check?
Ooh, yay!
Because you are definitely kind of trying to figure this one out, which I respect.
24.
24. Okay, so you don't kind of necessarily know anything specific about this sort of thing. I mean, it's a world of magic. A lot of weird stuff happens. Not all of it can be properly explained with cast iron rules. So you don't necessarily think you'd be able to come up with a proper answer without visiting, an expert.
Well, it's not transfiguration, guys.
Have we been dreaming?
Oh, are we still dreaming? Can I punch you, Borb?
What?
I just punch Borb without asking.
Do you wake up?
Do I feel?
So
Borb stands there confused.
Nesgrax punches Borb, and it just kind of there is no sign of recognition on Borb's face that anything has happened.
That doesn't tell us much.
No, he just takes a punch in it.
Borb's HP has not declined by even one value.
So I don't even
It's
feel
almost as if Nesgrax is not particularly strong.
Yeah. Okay. A Pidge pinches her own arm, dealing 1 damage.
It hurts.
Ow. I'm still here.
You're still there.
I eat a berry, which magically appears from my necklace.
Okay, you go back up that 1 HP.
Okay.
So, guys, less drugs next time.
How far back is it to where we killed that centipede?
You're not quite sure. I mean, a lot of roads look exactly the same in the countryside.
So have we forgotten the way that we were headed when we were on the road before to get back to Niqamui?
It sounds like we can find the road, but knowing the exact combat location would be tough. This is a field, that is a field.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like to me. Yeah. I have a question for, the DM. So like Pidge is technically a wizard, which means I study in like a school. I've got a library that I'm familiar with. Would it be game breaking to speak to an expert on magic?
No, feel free. Feel free.
Okay. All right.
That's the wonderful world of Dungeons and Dragons. You say what you want to do. I describe how you do it.
Okay. So if you all are really curious, you can come to the library with me and ask the librarian. He is really smart and might know more about this than we do. But if you just want to ignore it and go on another adventure, that's cool too. What do you guys want to do?
Sure, why not?
I like a good library, sure.
Okay, I take you guys to the White Tower, which is a spire of ivory-colored... No, ivory's bad. Don't kill elephants. A spire of marble-colored stone rising into the air. It's got lots of stairs, which is ironic because wizards not so good at the climbing of the stairs. So you see a lot of wizards floating.
Those poor marbles.
Also, gnomes not good at climbing stairs.
Yep. So most of us are just like floating above the stairs. All the evocation wizards have like jetpacks basically going on with their hands behind them. So we walk up the stairway to the library. The librarian, I picture like, have you guys seen Satan in the show Dragon Ball Z?
No.
He's a really big dude with a really nice desk, but the largeness of the man behind the desk is comedic. Mahogany.
Okay. So he's kind of like just really hulking, like kind of half orc type.
Yeah, the classic Hulk thing where when Hulk puts on a pair of glasses and his giant green fingers turn a page. It looks real funny.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought Borb was big.
So this enormous kind of orc, half orc kind of creature just kind of like sits at like what is a normal sized desk but looks absolutely tiny in comparison to him. He's just kind of like hunched behind it, kind of like gingerly kind of leafing through some very old looking books with kind of orc sized tweezers. Just kind of. So, and as you walk up, he kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh, hello, Pidge. How's it going?"
Hi, librarian. I've got a question for you on lost time.
That's ironic. I've got a question for you on lost books.
Oh, no. I reach into the fanny pack at my waist, which is just a normal-sized fanny pack, and through the opening appears an enormous tome, and I'm like, oh, I brought that back for you. Look at that.
That's good. We've been missing that. Oh, we just kind of wrote down. Oh, I'll tell you what, Pidge. Seeing as we're friends, I'll knock the late fees. I mean, you know.
Thanks.
Borb reaches into his pocket and pulls out a book as well. ABCs. Here you go.
Oh. This is the desk where people give books.
Bob, do you want the bookmark back? It's in B. You managed to get past 2 letters.
We have trouble with that letter.
I think you got annoyed because it did not say B as for Borb. It got to like B as for Baphomet, and you're like, nope. So he takes the ABC's book off you and puts it back in the children's section. All right, so what can I help you lot with today?
We're looking for lost time. I think it's happening again.
You'll have to be a bit more specific, I'm afraid.
Nesgrax, you tell him.
Oh, okay. We were going down the road. All of a sudden, this giant millipede thing came out of the ground. We killed it. It fell on us. We woke up in our guild as if nothing had happened. And we don't know where all this time went in between us killing this thing and us waking up in the guild.
That is a bit of a weird one. So the librarian just kind of, without really saying anything, just kind of like walks off into a pile of bookshelves, and then kind of like you hear kind of like rustling coming from all the books. He's like, no, not this one. Oh, someone around there. Oh, what's this doing? This is in completely the wrong place. And just kind of like after a couple of minutes, he comes back and he's like, right, So what I managed to find is quite a kind of a small kind of dusty book, and it's like, well, according to this, honestly, I can't really read it. It's such even quite sure what language this is. And he just kind of like turns the book around and kind of shows it to you, and sure enough, it's like in a really old language that none of you have perhaps ever seen before.
Well, this is not the right book, librarian.
I mean, this is the best I could do. What more do you want? There are a lot of books here.
Oh, all right. I guess we'll each go off into the library and try to investigate for a book. Thank you so much for your help. And Pidge accepts the dusty book.
Okay.
And I look carefully at its catalog number. Is there a piece of tape with paper and numbers and letters at the bottom of the book on its spine that says where it goes back on the shelf?
Yeah.
I put it back.
Okay.
But I wait until he's not looking.
Okay, so he's just going to kind of like busy himself back with a desk if no one else needs him for anything.
Thanks, librarian. Pidge leaves Borb unsupervised in the library.
Oh.
And heads off to the wizard stuff books.
Pidge follows aside saying wizard stuff books.
Can I assume we've had a long rest since this all happened?
Yeah. Everything's back to normal.
Okay.
You're all on full hit points, full spell slots. Everything is A-okay.
Okay. I think I have an idea. I want to I have a spell here. Oh wait, no, go away. What is it? It's called Contact Other Plane. And I can mentally contact...
Yes, I read this one. It looked really interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to be near my friends so that they can help me out. So I say, guys, come. And of course we're whispering because we're in a library.
Right. Yeah.
So I've got a spell where I can contact a demigod, and I can ask it, let's see, how many? 5 questions. And he has to answer either yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or unclear to any of my questions.
Awesome.
So we can ask this.
I mean, you are leaving off quite an important part of this spell, in which you have to initially make an intelligence saving throw. And if you fail, you take psychic damage and are insane until you finish a long rest.
You know,
there is that minor aspect.
Don't you think it's worth it?
I agree that it is worth it. And, yes, and I hand you a pair of handcuffs to voluntarily put yourself in that will prevent you from shifting out of this plane while you're insane or, slapped me in the face.
Good thinking. Well done. All right. Well, should we talk about what I should ask it before I cast it? I don't want to lose my mind before we get to ask it any questions.
Sure.
Me hear about something like this. Me hear about round black ball does same thing.
A round black ball?
Yeah, the letter 8 on it.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. I don't have one of those.
The magic ball of 8. I've heard of it. It's very powerful.
So, Borb, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Nesgrax, you can freeform it. Oh, can my question be what happened to our lost time? But you can do the other 4. Or no, that's not a yes question.
No,
is
yeah.
Oh, it has to be a yes or no question. Oh, I see.
Yeah, there's yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or unclear. However, it does stipulate that if a one-word answer would be misleading, I might instead offer a short phrase as an answer. But we'll see.
Okay. Can we ask it, did we really fight the beetle? That's my question.
Is that what it was? Was it a beetle? I remember a pickle. So.
A big, furry blue pickle.
Yes.
At this point, as you're kind of discussing it, the memory of the dream is starting to kind of fade a bit. You know how it goes, where you wake up after like a particularly interesting or bad dream that, you wake up and you remember like everything about it, and then after a couple of hours you're like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know how that works. That sort of thing is starting to happen.
Yeah. Oh, and another question to ask it. Is someone manipulating our memory or time? You can choose which one to ask. Okay, go ahead. Go, Nesgrax.
Okay. All right, I cast this spell, and I
with your
my handcuffs on.
In the middle of the library.
It's a magic library. They're so used to this.
And I have to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw.
Okay, so I'm going to roll that.
You have a +2, I believe.
I do.
Yep.
So I rolled a 15 plus 2, 17.
Oh.
Whew.
Yeah, just under the money. Yeah, you got it.
Excellent.
Just. Okay, so what does this actually look like? You contacting this?
So I take out my Book of Shadows, which of course is covered in eyelids, and I open it up. I go ew, and I find the page with the spell on it, and I read the spell like, and black portals open up near my ears so that I can hear the demigod from the other plane speaking to me.
Ear portals.
They're like, they say Sony on the side.
All right, are you contacting like a specific extra-planar entity, or like just going like, are you just pressing numbers at random on the keypad? Because you might end up phoning a pizza place, I'm just saying.
It's a bit soon, but I think I want to contact my patron Mephistopheles.
Okay.
Wait,
He's not such a bad guy.
your patron is Mephistopheles? Oh boy.
So far, so good.
He's not so bad. He's given me all these powers. He hasn't asked for anything.
What could go wrong?
Let's find out.
Don't ever ask that question.
Yeah. All right.
And don't look at that Reddit.
All right, Nesgrax, just give me an idea of what Mephistopheles is like. Like, have you seen him? Is he just a voice in your head?
Yes, I met him. We were at a pub. I had just been exiled from my family, and he came to me and he told me that I should join this guild and then have adventures, and I'll win back my honor and be reaccepted by my family, and he'll give me magic powers, and all I have to do is pledge loyalty and servitude to him.
Okay, I'm seeing a top hat.
Yes, he was wearing a top hat. It's funny you say
cane.
that.
All right, I think I've got you.
Yes. Lord.
Hey up, chap, who's this?
Oh, hello, Lord. It's me, Nesgrax. Do you remember?
Oh, mate, yeah, I remember you. How's it going, my old banana?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because we've woken up in our guild hall after defeating a giant monster. It was either a millipede or a beetle or a pickle. And we've lost all this time. We don't know where it went, and we've got some questions. I've cast a spell, and you have to answer some questions for me.
Yeah, I've got the paperwork through on that. Apparently, all I'm allowed to say is yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or unclear. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll see what I can do about that.
Okay.
Me old crumpet.
He's such a great guy. See? Do you see? Okay, so we've had a little powwow before we started. What we want to know is, did we actually fight that monster, or was that a dream?
Hang on, give me a second. And,
okay.
And you hear you're clacking like an old typewriter, as if he's
old-fashioned. He loves mechanical things.
As if he's typing a query into a magical typewriter and expecting an answer back. So.
He's got a pocket watch and everything.
Sorry, what was the question again, me old bean?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I've got a lot of stuff on my mind right now.
Understood. You are, I get it. Did we really fight that giant beetle-millipede stroke pickle thing?
Typing instructions.
Well, I'm getting a lot of different answers from my guy. I've got both a yes and a no.
Oh, intriguing.
So maybe.
A bit of a weird one.
What do you say?
Well, it sounds like if the answer were strictly a maybe, he would have just said maybe, but he said yes and no. So we did, but we didn't.
The typewriter could have, gone a bit weird. It's getting a bit old now. I've only had 3 centuries, and you know how these things slow down.
Guys, I think reality was erased. I think we did fight the monster.
Oh.
We didn't lose time. What happened to us was erased.
Ask him that.
Oh.
Lord, was...
You don't have to call me that,
what should I call you?
I mean, I do have a regular name. You can call me Meph or Mephistopheles or Stuff or, you can call me Trinkle if you really want.
Okay, Trinkle.
Oh, no, I don't like that. Okay, go back to Lord. Oh,
sorry.
No.
Lord.
I thought I'd try something. It didn't work out, all right?
That's fine. Lord, did our reality of fighting the monster get completely erased?
I'm sorry, the line's quite bad. There was a lot of a gap between a lot of the words you just said. Was that?
Yes.
Was that deliberate or just a?
I did.
Eldritch TNT.
Sorry, I was thinking while talking.
Okay.
Did our reality of fighting the monster get erased?
You hear the clicking noise again. I'm getting back. I mean, you can't see it at the moment, but you get the idea that it's just kind of like turning the paper around. It's like one. It's another yes and a no, but the yes is a little bigger. What sort of typewriter is this?
What did he say?
He either needs to hit Control B or...
Hang on, let me find... Wait, was that Control B or Control V?
Control B is for bold.
Okay.
Control V is for paste.
Wait, now it's gone now. What's going on?
It's gone.
Oh no, that was Control X.
No. Okay. You hit Control A and then delete.
Oh. Don't ever delete star.
Well, now something's come up about like hot singles in my demiplane. What's going on?
Oh, quick, shut it down.
He's got a virus.
Turn it off. Call the nerd squad.
You hear a lot of scrabbling and the line just goes dead.
Oh no.
You give him a virus.
I have more questions. I get more questions. Can I tap on the black circles next to my ears like that?
You just hear it.
Is this thing still on?
Oh no. Oh. I only asked 2 questions. I thought I was supposed to get 5. Did I break?
Oh, you got a lot of extra words.
I did. Oh.
Oh, Nesgrax, what did he say?
He said, when I asked him the question about did our reality get erased, he said he got another 2 answers. One was a yes and one was a no, but the yes was much bigger than the no.
So there's 2 realities?
I think there are 2 realities.
Okay, I have something for this. I take you all back to my apartment and show you Pidge mannequin.
Pidge.
It's a complete body double, except it's not me. There's 2 of me. Would you like to set a trap? I don't know how this will work.
You want us to set a trap for you?
Yes.
You want us to trap the Pidge mannequin?
No. Use Pidge mannequin as bait.
Oh.
For whom?
For what?
I don't know.
That is a good question.
Where were you going with this?
I don't... So half size plus half size.
Could we put it? It's a whole person. I don't know. Could we send it on an adventure and then see if something terrible happens to it? Well, they could have killed us, right? They could have. Maybe they did. Maybe we're already dead. Pidge just sits on the floor thinking.
Oh, Pidge is having a tough time.
I don't know what to do. I'm a transfiguration wizard. I don't understand all these strange magics.
I'm barbarian. I don't understand magic. I just hit things.
I mean,
do you guys remember what the quest was that we were on?
No.
Oh no. Well,
we have to go.
Maybe we
find
should
those pickles.
Ask Nulisag.
We have to find those pickles. I'm telling you.
Well, no, you have to stop eating the pickles. Yeah. Or who manufactured the pickles? Okay, so here's our plan. We talk to who manufactured the pickles. Oh, also, I hand you both this snail egg for some reason.
Thanks.
Wait, you kept the snail eggs?
I did. They were under my bed. Like, so the way Pidge sleeps is that there's a mannequin on top of the bed under the blanket, rolled over on its side, and snail eggs there. And then Pidge sleeps under the bed.
Are those...
Just hold on to the snail eggs.
Are those these snail eggs from...
Yes, it's magic repelling.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if someone tries to work magic on you, it won't work. And then you can come find me because you'll remember what happened.
It has a 1 in 4 chance
I'm
of not working.
I mean, real talk, is Pidge okay?
She's a little PTSD. But you can see why. I mean, her reality just got fractured.
The snail shells have a 1 in 4 chance of preventing magic from affecting them.
Yes. So I hand one to each of you. Just hold on to this. You have a 1 in 4 chance of magic not affecting you. While you're holding this, come save me if you remember stuff and I don't. Okay, so let's go talk to Nulisag and ask what mission we went on. And yeah. Do you know anyone who can see multiple realities?
Might be in the phone book.
No? Okay, well, let's go find out what mission we went on. Okay. All right. You both acquired snail eggs.
Yes.
For this adventure.
You're going to have to give them back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, Pidge won't sleep well at night. I mean, a hag attacked her in the middle of the night, so she had problems going back to sleep after that. So she used this sleeping strategy to feel secure at night.
Okay.
So what? You're heading back to the guild hall, yeah?
Yeah. So back to the guild. We'll ask Nulisag what mission we went on, and man, Pidge finally thought she was safe. Still not.
I didn't think anyone was going to hold on to those eggs.
We hold on to everything.
They didn't think I'd keep the mannequin.
I mean, how else are you going to test tomorrow's outfits, right?
Okay, so Nulisag. He is a 2-foot tall dude in an office in the guild.
Okay, what I will say is so you start to make your way back from Pidge's apartment to the guild hall, just trotting along kind of peacefully. Pidge, I think, is probably just like almost beside herself with paranoia. She's just kind of like holding her head in her hands and just kind of go, why? What?
Oh, I switched the snail egg from Nesgrax to Borb. Forgot, you can't use magic around these. You would have blown up. Sorry. Hand it to Borb. Borb has both.
Thanks.
Not paranoid. Promise.
All right. As you kind of like turn down an alleyway, you hear like this is kind of quite close to the marketplace now, so you hear like the hustle and bustle of people going buying, shopping as per usual. You hear a lot of street vendors kind of like shouting out their wares. You hear someone going, fresh pickles for sale, and someone going, pickles, my pumpkins are way better. Goes, screw your pumpkins. And, there's a lot of bickering you can hear, but then one thing kind of cuts through the rest of the noise, and that's just I'm I'm going to tell you is a guard who's shouting, "Stop, thief!" And as you're walking down, a young blonde boy just kind of like turns a corner, runs into the alleyway with you, and just kind of like runs directly, not at you, but very much towards you, and just kind of like stops in front of you and just kind of goes, "Oh, you got to hide me! He's kind of cradling a loaf of bread under his arm. He's like, you got to hide. They're after me. Please, just tell him you haven't seen me, okay?" And then he just kind of like hides in like just a perpendicular alley to you, just kind of like off to the side behind a big bin.
Oh, wait. He attempted to get into a perpendicular alley from us?
Well, if you imagine you're kind of just like walking down a long alleyway, there's just another one kind of like...
oh, yeah.
Next to you.
No, that was his intention for sure. How close did he get to us? Would you say 60 feet or closer?
Well...
and how old is he?
He's about... Pidge, I'm not sure how easy you find determining age with humans, but he's about 14.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Please make a wisdom saving throw, 14-year-old blonde boy.
Okay.
Borb holds up his hand.
You rolled an 8.
Hi, Borb. What's up? I wave at you too.
No, Borb's not waving.
Is that like a stop motion?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, I go over and I pick up the kitten that's on the ground.
There was a kitten?
I see.
But there is now.
Meow. Borb loves kittens.
Yes, he does.
I hand it to Borb.
You be good, I help you.
Meow. Meow. There's a loaf of bread on the floor now, by the way. Just kind of hanging out. So a few seconds later, the guard who had shouted kind of like runs into the alleyway and was like, "Did you see a small blonde boy run through here with a loaf of bread?"
Yeah, that's the loaf.
Oh, that's the... All right, where's the boy? That's a bit more important.
He got away.
He's a dangerous criminal, he is. He keeps stealing bread.
Oh, yeah, I think that boy's not here. No. Not here.
Sorry.
Hunt continues. And just kind of ignoring the bread entirely, he kind of like looks around himself and just kind of like stalks off in a huff.
There's no boy here, Pidge says, not needing a deception check. Aye. Oh, well, then Pidge is going to pick it back up. I have an hour, so that's plenty of time to take the kitten to my friend Mocha, who likes to take in wayward orphans. We raise them together.
Actually, remember, Borb has also started something, remember, recently, helping orphans and people in trouble, so...
Yes. Do you want a 14-year-old blonde boy? The kitten's probably looking at both of us, like with its giant kitten eyes looking upwards at our two heads.
Just imagine Puss in Boots from Shrek. Just kind of...
Borb goes over and picks up the loaf of bread.
We can ask it. Kitten, do you want to live with Borb?
Meow.
Mew once for yes and twice for no. Was that once or twice? Nesgrax, could you hear it?
What was the question?
Do you want to live with Borb? Do you want to be adopted by Borb? Borb, your adopted dad? Sounds like more than one me.
I think that's a no.
Can we turn him back into a boy? We might be able to get more answers if he can talk to us.
No. It's much cuter as a kitten.
The kitten starts licking itself.
Okay, Borb, where do you live?
He lives in, currently he's living in, Kitfasti, remember?
All right, I guess we go to the train station. Come with us, kitten.
In the, he has a place for people with the community center currently. He's taking care of a whole bunch of different kids with...
Yeah.
Off the street, so...
Yes, perfect.
It's not exactly adopting, but he is helping.
I pick up the bread. Kidnapping, yes.
I think kidnapping is the word.
No, not quite.
As you start to make your way towards the train station, the now kitten starts to kind of like visibly kind of start panicking and just kind of start scrabbling and trying to get away, and kind of like nibbling on your hand.
Okay, turn him back.
Like trying very much to escape.
That's too bad.
Turn him back.
Guys, I think I have a moral issue with this, which is unusual for me.
So let's discuss life, kitten. Some people get one chance. Some people get 2 chances. And kitten, you had your chance. You had your chance and you stole bread. Whoever was taking care of you wasn't doing a good job. You weren't having a good life. We don't want to see you go to jail. We don't want to see you hurt innocent people. So we're gonna give you a better life.
Turn him back.
Okay. Once we're in Kif Fasty, I do.
I don't think he wants to go to Kif Fasty for some reason.
How long is the train journey? I'm not sure how much experience you guys have with trying to hold on to a struggling cat.
A lot.
Yeah, this is Borb we're talking about. He likes cats.
Borb canonically has a kitten. It was in his very first adventure. Be our guest.
But when they don't want to be held, they really don't want to be held. Okay, so this isn't going to work for the audio audience, but okay.
Oh, it's a kitty.
Very much like that.
Does not want to be held.
And you don't want to be held. You don't want to be held, do you?
Oh.
Okay, all right. So you're saying that perhaps I might use another spell to further incapacitate this small child, because we could roleplay that. I could levitate it above the ground by a foot if you want.
No, just let's talk to him.
Can't we just hold him? He's a child.
I can incapacitate the kid without having to be turned into a kitten, so...
This is your new dad.
Anyways.
Okay, all right. So before we get on the train station to Kif Fasty, the kitten scrambles so badly that I switch. Okay, we go down another alley, so no one sees us, and I switch from polymorph to levitate.
Okay, kid. What's going on?
Okay. Okay, so the kitten kind of like melds back into the shape of the boy and is now floating. Actually, for levitate, do they have to be willing or?
Oh yeah, you get some kind of save, I think. Let me see. Please make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I'm assuming a 5 doesn't do it.
No.
Okay, so
you float a foot above the ground, and if you went horizontal or vertical, the full rotation of your body would not take you within touch distance of anything to push off of.
Okay. All right, so you've transformed a young teenager into a kitten, taken him across town, turned him back into a teenager, and are now levitating him off the ground against his will. Just got that right? Okay.
And I have the loaf of bread still.
And you've still got the loaf of bread. Okay, so he stares at you and is like, what was all that about? Like what?
Thief, you want to tell us?
Yeah,
I shake the bread at him.
I took that for my family. We're starving, dude. I've got a little brother, my little sister. I mean, they'll be worried sick about me. What were you thinking?
I say, I'm sorry. She has PTSD. She doesn't trust anyone. We just want to ask you some questions. You should have seen her other plan.
I mean, I'm floating in midair. Is that really an excuse?
I'm not rotating him. I'm just
then how am I doing it?
Oh no, I'm not rotating you. You're upright.
I think
I'm so confused.
Borb is gonna reach into his pocket. Kiddo pulls out some coins and a card. You need help? Contact this place. And he hands him 10 gold coins. I help kids.
I mean, that's very kind of you, sir, but I mean, at the moment, I'm still floating. And
let him down.
You guys tried to kidnap me. What's up with that?
You're
What's
right.
up with you stealing bread? Why'd you do that? Where are your
I
parents?
have a family to feed. We are starving.
Okay.
There is no other way of getting...
Yeah, there's no other way. Thank you for giving him that gold Borb. You're a good guy. I'm gonna drop levitate and see where he sprints off to.
I'm also going to find the bread seller and make sure that is paid for, too, so...
Yep. I have a reaction to him sprinting away down the alley.
He's not going to sprint. He's going to just not quite skulk, but he's going to kind of walk off, like looking back over his shoulder towards you guys, and really confused as to what the hell just happened to him. And he's just kind of trying to kind of look around, just kind of trying to get his bearings, because as we've ascertained, he's been transformed and kidnapped.
Yeah.
And given 10 gold, he's had a weird day.
Yeah, it's definitely not what he expected when he woke up that morning.
So he's walking away from us?
He's going to try to, yeah.
The moment before he turns the corner, Pidge is going to polymorph with her 1 free polymorph per day and see if that works. Does she still have it?
Polymorph yourself.
Uh-huh. I have 1 free polymorph per day. But if I already became a peregrine falcon, then I don't have it. Do I have it?
Yes.
Okay, well, I become a... So picture like the beak of a very large raptor bird and its golden eyes and its brown feathers as I become a sight hunting mountain type of eagle, like a golden eagle or something like that. And I go way up in the air, and I'm going to sight hunt this boy as he goes back to his starving family, just to find out where that is. I'm so far above that you can't even see a bird up there. It's like, whew.
Okay, so kind of like a hawk.
Well, like a hawk, but a golden eagle. Yeah.
Yeah, like a buzzard or a marsh harrier.
Yeah, like, I don't know very many types of birds.
Or a small condor.
Big bird. Eats sheep. The type of bird that if a goat is on the side of a mountain can pull that goat off the side of the mountain and watch as it splats on the ground below, that big of a bird. Like,
okay. Yeah. Okay, so just so flying above the city, you just kind of like track this boy back, and yeah, he like over. I'm not sure quite how long it'll take him. Maybe about half an hour or something like that. He's going to make his way back towards definitely the poorer part of town into the slums, and you do see him just kind of like splitting up a loaf of bread between a couple of smaller children.
okay, I go back to Borb and Nesgrax in the guild hall, and I tell Borb where that kid lives.
Oh,
Okay.
How unexpected. He lives in a slum.
Another slum.
We've got his address. You want to do some recruiting for your community center?
I doesn't look like he was too interested, so
If you don't, I will.
go ahead.
So you're not interested? Okay. All right. If you're not gonna help this orphan kid?
I'm not going to try to... If he doesn't want to do it, I'm not going to try to do it, so...
Well, you
Yeah.
gave him 10 gold. So he's probably paying attention. So if I show up with like 4 trays of cupcakes and just give them to him and establish a friendship. Hey, so sorry for polymorphing you the other day. It was a rough situation with the police chasing us. Here's just 4 trays of cupcakes. You want to go that route? See if he'll come to the community center, start a new life with
I don't
you.
want him to... If he has a family, I'm not going to force
Provide
him
food
to
for his
start a
family.
new life, so...
Well, the whole
This
family.
sounds like a cult. This is very much culty.
And their only goal is making sure orphans don't starve.
Yeah, that's how they
basically
start.
it. Oh, you got me. Yeah. Just joking.
All right, well, if you don't want to, then I'm going to at least buy 4 trays of cupcakes. As mentioned in the episode Puzzles and Pickpockets, these are Goodberry cupcakes that have Mary's Bakery makes them. They have all the nutrition that a starving orphan would need. They were specifically designed for starving orphans. And I knock on the kid's door. Nesgrax, you coming with?
Yes, of course. I have to see how this plays out.
Borb, you coming with?
Sure, why not?
I knock on the door and I'm holding 4 trays of good berry cupcakes.
I mean, it's not so much a door as more of just a blanket over a frame. But yeah, if you knock on the frame and the boy just kind of peels it apart and goes, "What you? Not you again? They're sleeping. What do you want?"
I brought you cupcakes. I'm so sorry about. I have PTSD, and in situations like that, sometimes I polymorph people. So my bad. And here's apology cupcakes.
Okay. And he just kind of awkwardly just kind of grabs the cupcakes and is like, "You guys are really weird, you know that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, here's our card. If you want more cupcakes, come to the Borb's Community Center in Kifasti, and here's a train ticket of gold. There you go. I hand you 20 gold so that all your kiddos can come.
I mean, we'll think about it. I mean, I'll have to, talk to them and everything, but...
So sorry. Please accept cupcakes.
Okay.
Here's how to find us and how to get there.
Could I just, before you close your flap, could I just ask, has anything unusual happened in, say, the last couple of days or so that you stand out?
You mean besides being turned into a kitten and levitated?
Well, yeah, before that.
Besides that, you mean?
Yes.
I mean, I don't really know. It was like, what's normal anymore?
Has anyone you know lost their memory, or feel like time was erased, or feel like they died and had a reset or something like that?
What sort of question is that?
Did we die?
Guys, get help. I mean...
Thank you very much.
He shuts the flap and just kind of... He did seem appreciative of the cupcakes, but he's still very much confused.
Yes, I leave the card in each of the cupcake trays, and then unbeknownst to him, maybe like I can work in a little bit of want more cupcakes, come to a Mary's Cupcake Bakery in each of the wrappers.
Okay, because when you started to say, "Can I work in?" I was thinking, what, is she making them addictive? So...
No.
Okay, good.
I'm making the paper wrapper say an address.
Because that's an entirely different problem.
No.
Okay, so we're not drugging children.
I know that
he... Okay.
Yeah. And whether or not they can read is up to them, but can you read, kid? I say as I hand him the card.
You want to leave me alone? I mean, I can, but it's there's none of your business.
You can? Perfect. Okay. All right. I leave him alone for 1 week. I'll be back next Sunday or whatever day this is with 4 more trays of cupcakes if he hasn't yet come to Borb's Kitchen for Starving Orphans in Kifasti.
Okay, I'll make a note of that, but we'll put that on the back burner for the time being. Mm-hmm. Okay. So making your way back out of the slums of Niqamui, things start to get a lot nicer. You're out of the kind of like muddy ground. You're back onto kind of paved roads, back into like properly built up areas. Much nicer place. You're back towards the marketplace where you ran into him earlier. There's kind of like crumbs of bread on the ground where you kidnapped him. And just make me a perception check or an investigation, whatever you one of those two.
Okay.
Just everyone. Everyone.
Oh.
What? Sorry, which kind of a check? A perception?
Perception or investigation, whichever one you fancy.
Okay, I got a 16 perception check.
I got a 15.
24 investigation.
Ooh, okay. Pidge, you are much closer to the ground than everyone else, so you see this first. Because that's how this works. Kind of not quite in the same spot as the breadcrumbs, but kind of a little bit off, kind of like slightly tucked into the shadows. There's this kind of big fat coin purse.
Oh.
It looks real fancy. Kind of it's embroidered. It's kind of like nice and red velvet, kind of like golden clasps up at the top.
Nesgrax.
Yes.
I'm a transfiguration wizard. I have no ability to detect magic or see if this thing's going to explode or identify it or anything. Look over there at that thing that I will not touch.
I say, ooh, red velvet. And I pick it up. And I open it up.
Oh, gosh.
It is absolutely filled with gold coins, also like the fancy like Electrum coins. It's a lot of money in there. And there's like stitched into the inside, there's a little label, like you get in underpants, where it says like, if found, please return to, that sort of thing. So the address inside of it says Dr. Gilligan Postlethwaite, Institute of Morbid Curiosity, Museum of Natural History, Niqamui.
Oh, hey, this has a label in it, just like my underwear.
Too much information.
We should visit whoever this is, Professor Gilligan. He's in town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Niqamui Museum of Natural History. Yeah. We're in Niqamui.
I wonder if he has an island.
Can I do if I do a history check that should help us learn more about who this guy is? I have proficiency in history. Can I do that?
You certainly can.
I will roll a history check. Oh, Jesus. I got a 10.
You're still fairly new to the area. So like the names of like people you don't really remember so much. You definitely remember seeing the Natural History Museum because you've been through on a couple of sightseeing bus tours. They keep stopping by and just kind of like pointing out interesting architectural features in the gargoyles. But so you know where the museum itself is. You don't recognize the name of the person, but it seems fairly straightforward that he would probably be there.
All right, guys, let's wait for the next bus.
All right, I guess that's where we're headed.
Okay.
How far away is this location exactly?
I mean, you don't have to take the bus. It's about 10 minutes walk. You know the bus tours are a scam, right? You can just walk it.
Borb grabs the two of them off the ground and clicks his new boots together. And
whee!
Borb has a new set of boots. Boots of speed. I don't think we're going to be... this is not going to take long at all.
Is that combined with the flying cape? That's all.
He can move 80 feet on a regular walk, so with these boots on. So, Borb starts he moves at top speed, the cape flapping behind him, with the two of them carrying underarm.
Whee!
Okay, Borb runs off at top speed, like running past the marketplace. Like paper and pigs go flying everywhere in his wake as he knocks over. Hang on, 23 old people.
Oh my god!
Oh.
On the way, but
sorry.
they're merely a blink in his eye as he tears past. And soon enough, you grind to a halt at the Niqamui Museum of Natural History. The building itself is very large with white walls and light marble floors. There are a number of very fancy-looking gargoyles pitted around the roof, and there are quite a lot of people.
Pidge, do those remind you of anything?
Pidge gets more PTSD.
I don't like statues.
But there are quite a lot of people there. I think we should say like today is like maybe a national holiday in Niqamui for something or other.
Name it.
That's it. It's the something or other national holiday. The local government wanted they just wanted a holiday, but didn't have the imagination to figure out what it was for, so they just went for something or other, and that stuck.
Labor Day?
It's knock over an old person day, and everyone's cheering.
Yeah. It's pensioner bowling day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pensioner Bowling Day.
National Transform Person into Cat Day. All right.
Well,
Did you win?
here's the place.
You would have won.
I think no one is going to top 23.
No, 23 is the maximum. So
New high score.
Well, guys, I think we should just head inside and see if we can find this Professor Gilligan guy. So
From under the armpit, I look across the Borb chest at you and I nod and I say, that's a good idea.
I set the two of them down.
Solid ground. I kiss it for some reason. I look totally happy, totally fine. I'm totally fine.
I take one of my dragon talons and I pick the bugs out of my teeth, and then we go up and we open the main door.
yeah, the main doors are already open. They're just kind of like they're about, oh god, what is it in feet? Maybe I'm going to say
meters.
50 feet high. They're pretty big doors.
Cool.
So they're just kind of kept open during normal opening hours, just so people can kind of walk in and out as they please. Just kind of walking in as just a large entrance hall. There's a dinosaur skeleton in the center. Maybe actually, Pidge, give me a perception check.
I like where this is going.
It's nothing threatening. Don't worry.
No, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it a
I
T-Rex?
rolled an 18, so that's a
Ooh.
19.
Let's find out.
Is it a T-Rex?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Don't-
That looked familiar.
It's a T-Rex skeleton, but not quite right. So you think maybe the people putting it together just made a mistake because like some of the leg bones don't look right, and the tail is definitely too long. But you kind of take a look at the signs just above the skeleton itself, and was like kind of like marine exhibits this way, ancient artifacts this way, weird stuff this way. There's actually a sign saying weird stuff because it's in a world of magic. There's a lot of weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like just in passing, you off to the side you see Fletcher doing a quick tour for a couple of guests around the kind of archaeological exhibits.
I wave, but I don't interrupt his tour. He looks busy. Hi, Fletcher.
He kind of like nods in your direction. He sees you.
I yell out, Fletcher! Fletcher! Fletch! Fletch! Fletcher! Fletch!
All right.
Catch up.
So I walk up to the
Backs away.
information desk.
Nesgrax.
I'll just say he kind of stares pointedly at Nesgrax like, I'm trying to work. I mean, you're great and all, but just can we leave this till later?
Okay. Later
What he
then.
says with his eyes.
Okay. I can see you're upset. I'm sorry. We'll go to the desk that says information on it.
Yeah, I'd go up to the information desk. Me looking for Gilligan?
So the information desk, there isn't actually an attendant at it. There's just this kind of like white cube with inky black stuff kind of like pulsating in the middle and just kind of swirling around. But as you just kind of walk up to it and request information, the black ink just kind of like reforms into words which says, insert query.
Oh, touch
Yeah.
item.
I've seen this.
We deal with this before. My Borb reaches out and touches the screen.
The black the black stuff kind of like wiggles around and reforms back into words, and it says, please do not do that again.
Which you can read now.
Yes.
It also comes with a handy picture of like a finger and a cross through it.
Oh. I guess you're supposed to ask it questions, Borb.
Okay. Me looking for Gilligan?
The words kind of like reform, and it just says, Not found. Try searching for I am looking for Gilligan.
It's rude.
I am looking for Gilligan.
Just goes, there we go. And reforms. It just says, Dr. Gilligan Postlethwaite, Institute of Morbid Curiosity, weird stuff. And then just kind of like points an arrow towards the weird stuff area of the museum.
Smart machine.
Well, so I just immediately just start walking towards the weird stuff on my own.
I follow.
Thank you. Borb walks
No
towards
problem.
Borb.
Okay, as you head towards the back of the museum where all the weird stuff is kept, it's kind of the undiagnosable magic items and stuff people haven't really seen before, all the properly old stuff before civilization had properly taken root. So there's a lot of like very dusty manuscripts, a lot of inky black voids. There's kind of a floating skull somewhere. There are a lot of signs saying "Do not touch," and then a couple more under that saying "Seriously, do not touch this." Just continue walking. You end up with a couple row of kind of like offices and labs. There's just a sign outside one of them saying Dr. G. Postlethwaite, Institute of Morbid Curiosity.
Sorry, did you say there was a sign above a door? Was that what it was?
Yeah, you know how it works with it's like just kind of like jutting out into the corridor. There's a little sign that says it. It also says on the door itself, but just so you can see it as you're walking down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I go up to the door and I knock.
You hear a voice inside saying, "Come on in."
I open the door and I walk in.
I follow.
I walk in.
Okay, the door is quite small, so Borb has to kind of stoop a bit to get in. But otherwise, kind of inside the door, it's a classic academic person's study. So it is a mess. There's a desk in the middle, but it's covered in books and scrolls and lots of ink stains. There is kind of like takeaway containers of food in the corner, just kind of like piled on top of a chair. It doesn't smell bad, so so apparently it's not a problem. But it is an absolute mess. But kind of like sat on top of like a couple of books, which are also on top of a chair, is not quite old, but a white-haired kind of like fairly scrawny gnome who kind of looks up and just goes, "Oh, hello, how's it going?
Hello.
What can I do for you?"
Professor, have you recently lost a purse of coin?
Oh, you're here about the quest I sent. Oh, that's marvelous. And he kind of like rifles through, kind of grabs a scroll and is like, all right, yes. So the thing is, I when I was out going for my morning stroll, I lost my coin purse, and I sent this missive to the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild to see if they would send someone to help me retrieve it, because apparently there's some money in it, and it's quite sentimental to me. So if you wouldn't mind to go out searching for it, I'd be most grateful.
Yes, we'll get to it right away.
We found it.
Oh.
Oh, what was that? You found it already? Whoa. You people are amazing. Do you have it with you?
Yes. Nesgrax like puts his head in his hand and just like sort of can't believe it. And he pulls out the coin purse and he places it on the desk.
Oh, you are absolutely amazing. Oh, well, now now about your rewards. I mean, I've got it here somewhere. I put it specially aside, but it's such a mess in here. I do apologize. I'm not usually like this, and he is definitely usually like this. He's just trying to be polite. He's a slob. But he's like, oh, yeah, I can't find it. How about, and he just kind of like opens the person just kind of like pulls it out onto the desk, and it when it was open in your hands, it looked like a lot of money, but after kind of pouring it out, it looks like there's even more, like about 6,000 gold in there. And he goes, I mean, that's all that was in there. Is that a lot of money? I don't really know.
It's not that
you
much.
can have it, but
it's a measly sum. You could get a loaf of bread for it, probably.
Oh no, I do apologize. Let me go find some. I'm sure I've got something around here that would.
I kind of hate this guy. Like, the contrast with the starving orphan immediately before this, and now this jerkwad doesn't even know. Like, he's just sitting on his gold, doesn't care, doesn't know. Fuck this dude.
So after a short while of just kind of like reaching, he kind of pulls out this kind of like this jade like idol kind of thing. And he's like, I mean, Dr. Fletcher found this in the jungle not so long ago. I said I'd look into it, but honestly, it's a bit boring. So I mean, I don't really need.
You're the worst. Follow the chain of evidence, and you document that, and you put it in your museum. Pay us out of your own pocket money, jerkwad.
I mean, he did bring in like 3, so.
All right.
Can you explain what this is exactly?
Well, I mean, if I'm honest, it looks like, you know, where this is DM voice speaking here. It looks to you basically like just a big jade paperweight, but Fletcher's the archaeologist, so maybe he saw something in it that you didn't. Who knows?
Maybe he took it from someone's tomb where they thought that they could rest in peace, but then these jerkwads are going in and taking all the jade and then selling it at auctions, pilfering other cultures' rich histories for their own benefit. I'll take the gold from your purse, says Pidge.
Okay, so you don't want the idol at all, no?
No.
Okay.
I don't think you should have that either, but we'll talk about that on another day.
I was given it to research, but I mean, there's nothing interesting about it. It's not magical. It's.
Are you sure?
Boring. Okay, and he just kind of like chucks it in a pile behind him.
Oh.
How about 1,000 gold?
Oh.
I mean, I'll see what I can do. I'll tell you what. Since you've been so kind as to retrieve my my purse, would you mind awfully just kind of helping me with some minor experiments? I just doing some research and would very much appreciate so like adventurers as powerful as yourselves to help me with this.
What does it involve exactly?
I mean, it would probably be best if I showed you. It's just in my lab, just next door. But I'll tell you what. Since you've been so kind to me, how about we just take a moment and just go get a drink? How does that sound?
Oh, I could murder a drink.
Excellent.
How about you pay us for the first job we did, and then we'll, over drinks, discuss any future employment with you.
Oh, okay.
Pidge is going to charge this guy the 30% upcharge that she gives some people.
Okay, that sounds good to me. How about let's head off and we'll discuss it. And with that, we will take our own little break.
Agreed.
Okay, did we get the 1,000 gold from him?
Yeah, he'll dig out. Not like some kind of like ancient artifact, just kind of an old kind of like gold like watch or something that's worth about 1,000 gold.
No, like from his coin purse.
Oh no, yeah, you've got basically everything that was in the coin purse, which is about 6,000 gold.
Oh.
Okay, I just wanted 1,000 gold from that. Yeah.
But we got the 6,000.
Oh no, he's more than willing just to kind of give you all
yes.
that. As a
okay, all right, that works. 2,000 gold each. I was just asking for like a 1/6 finder fee with the jerk tax.
Oh no, he has no concept of like currency.
I can tell. Yeah, I can tell. All right, so 2,000 gold each. Yeah, break sounds good.
So with that, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you for joining us for this half of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. With us was Pidge.
He's going down.
Nesgrax.
I can't believe I'm not dead yet.
And Borb.
Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you in a bit.
Bye. We hope that you're enjoying this episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. Please leave us a review on iTunes.com. You can subscribe to receive new episodes through your podcast player or by visiting firebreathingkittenspodcast.com or finding us on YouTube. Can you think of someone who might enjoy this podcast? Please share it with them. We don't pay to advertise this show, so the only way we can grow is through the support of listeners like you. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. For our second part today, we're going to have a little recap done by a certain ex-Lord Nesgrax. Would you mind giving us a run-through of what happened in our first half?
I'd be delighted. Well, we were all on our road back from an adventure in a closed carriage. I remember red velvet. And the ground started shaking, and a millipede or a beetle or possibly a pickle appeared out of the ground. It was close, but we killed it. And as it fell down in front of us, or on us, I can't remember if it was on us or in front of us. I think it was in front of us. We all of a sudden woke up in the guild hall. I was eating some pickles. We had completely lost time. We didn't know how we ended up there. We started investigating. We went to the library. It was pretty boring. So I called my patron, Mephistopheles, and he gave some cryptic answers. Basically, he was saying yes and no to all of my questions about reality being erased. So we bumped into an orphan, and the orphan got turned into a cat by Pidge. And we basically kidnapped him and then put levitate on him. Eventually we let him go and he ran away. He wasn't all that useful to us. But we did bring him some cupcakes just to take care of them, because that's the kind of guild we are. And we went back to the scene of the kidnapping and found a very expensive-looking purse. It had a label in it with Professor Gilligan Postlethwaite, I think his name was, who works at the museum. So we went to the museum. We returned the purse. We received the 6,000 gold coins that were in the purse, which was a boon. And then we decided to have a drink and take a break while we discussed our predicament further with Professor Gilligan. And there you are.
Lovely, thank you.
Why do I get a feeling that Professor Gilligan has something to do with our situation? Oh, well.
Dr. Gilligan Postlethwaite leads you towards the bar area of the museum. It's kind of, the weird stuff portion has its own bar, because of course it does. Why would it not? You see a lot of weird stuff in there. You're going to need a drink. So he kind of like just, there's no one else in there. It's just you lot. And he kind of walks over towards this kind of like big box on the bar counter. And he just kind of goes, all right, what you need to do is just put your hand on top of this and it'll make you whatever drink you like. So it kind of taps into your brainwaves and just makes it. So just to demonstrate, he puts his hand on top and the machine makes a noise. As if opening a can. A small amount of beigey liquid puddles on top of it. It was like, oh, this always happens. And he reaches down and just kind of slurps it off. Oh, you just got to do that sometimes. It's just a bit of a weird thing. I'm for the listeners at home, I'm just covering the noises of me pouring like a drink out. But he's like, no, this is how it's meant to work. It's absolutely fine.
Seems a bit unsanitary. Because he slurped off of the hand scanner, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I was going to say you can clean it off, but feel free. Just so kind of like underneath.
Borb puts his hand on the scanner.
Yeah. Okay. So similarly to Postlethwaite's drink, so bubblish brown liquid just settles on top of the machine, whereas underneath it there's this little alcove, and in it just pops out a little cup or a tankard or drinking vessel. What drink would Borb go for? Hopefully not beer.
Anything that's not alcoholic.
Okay.
Yep.
A nice chocolate milkshake pours into
that works.
The drinking vessel.
Yeah, the last thing you want
just kind of looks. Yeah, the last thing we want is Borb to get drunk again.
I say, well done, Borb. I'm proud of you.
So Postlethwaite looks over and just goes, see, it really was that simple.
Bad things happen when Borb gets drunk. Really bad things.
Yeah, I heard some stories about a smashed up bar.
You were there.
I heard stories. I heard stories not from the people who were there, but from the people who went to Kif Fasty with you. They told me stories. It was Scrape telling me the story. You know how Scrape starts talking.
Mm-hmm. Pidge, Nesgrax, do you fancy a drink?
Yes. I'll just put my hand here on the scanner.
Okay, the same stuff happens. The liquid kind of bubbles on top. What drink would Nesgrax go for? Maybe like a wine or kind of like red wine, maybe.
I think if he wanted to, he would want to save face and get that. But I think what he actually wants is an appletini.
Yum.
Okay, so instead of like a big kind of like a wooden tankard, a delicate glass pops out and a little green liquid pours directly, and there in drops a little umbrella with a cherry on top.
I didn't order this. What is it? I mean, I'll drink it. It's fine, but still.
Okay.
Can Pidge reach it? She's 3 feet tall.
I mean, Postlethwaite is also a gnome. He managed it, but
okay.
You can climb up on a stool if you are so inclined.
Pidge presses her hand down on the sticky reader, adheres to it a little bit uncomfortably. Yeah. You know the juice that maraschino cherries come in?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that.
just the cherry juice.
The look on Borb's face.
Oh.
Okay, so in like a children's sippy cup appears out, and just like some cherry juice dribbles into it, just kind of like in like globules. It just kind of like a syrup. It just kind of pours in. A couple of cherries also fall in.
Excellent bonuses.
Just as an afterthought, and then the kind of lid materializes, like the sippy cup lid.
I really hope you don't feed your children syrup.
All right. Let's talk business.
Yes, so these experiments I was talking about, yes. Okay, I remember now. Whew, this is strong stuff. Yes, my experiments. So I have been investigating the metaphysical qualities of illusion magic. Yes. And I've been trying to kind of create a headset which will let you view realities that I can program. What I kind of need, well, basically it's I can like program different realities and kind of put them into the headset, and then you just put the headset on, and then you experience the reality as I've put. Now, what I need your help for is just to kind of help me with some simulations, like the artificial intelligence.
Question.
Yes. Yes, Bob.
Does one of them have big centipede in it?
I mean, I haven't quite figured out the insertion of, like, non-human monsters yet. Well, not non-human. What's the word I'm looking for? Non-sentient, I guess. Yes, that's about right. But no, I haven't been able to figure out how to put monsters in, because they follow a weird set of programs that I don't quite have. I mean, we could try.
Borb looks at the others and raises an eyebrow.
I'm just listening to the story.
Now, I'm no scientist, but it seems to me in order to create something like this, you would need to have lots and lots of rows and columns of numbers, almost like a matrix, you know?
Now, you may have to repeat that for me, Nesgrax.
I was just saying.
You appear to have frozen in midair.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying.
Same here.
I was just saying, in order for something like this to work.
Uh-oh.
Am I still frozen?
Are you doing it to Nesgrax already? Nesgrax, can you repeat that?
I mean, this is a very strong drink, but I don't think I'm doing that.
Am I still freezing? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
Okay.
Try saying it again.
Okay, let's try this joke
before it
again.
happens again.
I'm no scientist, but it seems to me that for something like this to work, you would need lots and lots of rows and columns of numbers. You know, like a matrix.
Okay.
Was it worth it?
Not really, no.
I mean, I appreciate the effort, certainly. So I'll give you inspiration for that, just to put you out of your misery.
Yes.
That means that you can, once this game, re-roll a dice after finding out what the dice is, but not whether or not it succeeds.
Okay.
Well,
I think.
Yeah. Well, strictly speaking, how inspiration is meant to work is that you give yourself advantage on a roll, but most of us just use it to re-roll a dice. But
it doesn't give advantage. You roll a d6 and add it onto your d20 roll, and that's how
Inspiration?
It works.
In 5e?
Yes.
Huh.
That is correct.
Yeah.
It just gives you a small bonus to your d20 before you know whether it succeeds or fails.
You may well be thinking of bardic inspiration.
But
might be.
Doesn't
I'll double-check.
matter.
But it doesn't matter right now. We'll figure it out in a different arena.
Pidge can tell you about this story that she heard from Crud Jr., Amonist, and Artima. This one time, they went to the plane of Earth, and they told me about a handkerchief, and if you unfold the handkerchief and you hang it up on a wall, you can stick your head in it, and it'll simulate. It's a well of many worlds, but for simulated worlds, so it's the well of many simulated worlds. But I can see, Professor, why you would want to try to duplicate that, because as a legendary, there's only one. It's like Articuno. You know, there's just one. So you can see why you would want to make more of that. Yeah. That makes sense.
That is very interesting. But that is not like the ultimate aim for my experiments. Well, I merely want to use that framework as a way to investigate the psychological condition of sentient beings. So what I would like you to help me with is I've got some prototypes in the back, and I just need you to go in and just kind of run a couple of tests of mine. They're all preconceived tests just to see how well you deal with them, how the artificial intelligence within the programs deal with you, because that's half of it. And then we can see how that all goes, you know?
Borb would love to do it.
Borb, let's leave those white spheres that I gave you earlier in the coat check.
All right.
So that nobody explodes.
Borb puts the eggs in the coat check and puts notes on do not touch.
Yeah. Well, those notes are kind of self-policing, aren't they?
Yeah.
You can touch it. We'll find out.
There are a lot of do not touch signs around the place for different things, so you could probably just take one off
Borb picks up one of the do not touch signs and sticks it in front of the eggs.
The floating skull is now perfectly free to be touched.
Uh-oh. Hopefully that won't come up again later. He says, looking at the camera.
Is it a gnome skull? I just want to know for reasons.
No.
A minotaur or a Nesgrax? What are you Dragonborn?
He's a Dragonborn. No, it's just a regular human skull.
Okay, good. Just curious. Sometimes with time travel.
I mean, it does have some like runes kind of or like around the kind of temple area. And it looks a bit charred in places, but other than that, it's a regular human skull.
Okay,
but
good.
Which used to have a lot of signs saying "do not touch," but now apparently can be touched. So let's hope no one touches that.
Again, we'll find out.
We'll find out. That's the joy of Dungeons and Dragons. Who knows? Okay. So are you okay with helping me out? It's. I mean, I can. Sure. I'm sure I'll be able to find some more reward in it for you. I mean, we do get a research stipend, which I can kind of provide you funds from for helping me out, if you so kind of require payment for this.
Darn. On the one hand, I was going to charge this guy up with gold, but on the other hand, it's coming out of a research stipend, so now I'm going to do it for free. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take his personal money. I want to take grant money.
So you want to take his personal money, not the money that's specifically set aside for researching. Okay.
I'll volunteer my time.
I'm just gonna hang back. And I'll chill. I'll watch.
Borb and I will volunteer as tribute. Right, Borb?
Okay.
Borb will volunteer.
Yay.
Okay, wonderful. All right, everyone, just kind of drink up, and we'll head over. And he just kind of like downs his drink. I'm not going to in real life because that would be a waste. But theater of the mind.
Yeah, Borb downs his drink. Yeah.
Down your milkshake.
Borb.
And then once everyone's finished their drinks, Postlethwaite kind of leads you back into his office, and then in a side room for that, he kind of just kind of unlocks the door, walks you through, and there's this big grey machine with a lot of kind of flashing lights, kind of like blues and reds and the occasional green. They're just kind of flashing away, and he just kind of like opens a cupboard towards the side of it and just kind of pulls out 3 kind of headsets, and it's like, right, okay, so how this is going to work is that all I just need to do is kind of put this on top of your head. It just kind of ask you a few questions, like while we're here, just to kind of calibrate the machine, and then I can load in some scenarios just for you to have a play with and see how you do. Hey, does that sound okay?
Is it just one at a time? Like, is it Borb goes first, or is it 2 people can enter the same simulation?
At the moment, I've managed to do it so multiple people can go in at a time, but only one person can, interact with the person, well, the simulation itself. So,
okay, Borb, you're first.
So if 2 of you wanted to go in, you can, but only one of you would be able to actually kind of work inside the simulation. But you will be able to talk to each other in there. You got it?
Will this fit Borb's head?
Yeah, don't worry. It's a one-size-fits-all, so there's like a kind of clasp and kind of extending metal bits that come out.
Adjusts and has to adjust it out to its full size.
Hang on. I think I can find some string around here somewhere. Just ties an extra little loop. Right, okay.
Borb has a big head. I know the feeling. All right, and places them over his eyes.
Yep. So in our world, just kind of imagine it's like just a VR headset, kind of thing. It just kind of covers your eyes, covers your ears. That pretty much does it. So we just got Pidge and Borb doing it, right?
Oh, no. Pidge is watching Borb.
Okay.
If he's the only one who can interact, yeah.
Wait,
Okey-dokey.
I have a question. Can guys just play along with me really quick? Could all three of us just go touch this wall over here? Is there just a blank wall that we could just touch? All three of us at the same time right now.
Okay, I poke a wall for you, my magical friend.
Wait, can we do it all at the same time? So I touch the wall.
Yep,
Okay,
me
I don't
too.
know why, but I touched the wall.
Okay, we're all touching the wall at the same time, right?
Do you want me to touch the wall as well?
Yeah, if you could, that would just be good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay, so
curious as to what's going on.
we're all touching the wall, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we could interact. We're not in this simulation. It's okay. I just wanted to check. Sorry.
I'm really confused. What?
Well, in the simulation, wouldn't we be able to also touch the wall?
I get what you're saying.
We couldn't all interact with the simulation.
Oh.
You see?
It was
So-
a test. I
I
see.
see.
I'm confused. What's going on?
Never mind. Don't worry.
Did we all interact with the wall by touching it?
Oh, okay. He looks at you confused. He goes, but don't worry, you'll know when you are inside the simulation. Hang on, let me show you. And he kind of he taps a few buttons, and then I imagine he would have kind of like a monitor. So not quite a screen because it's not that sort of world, but maybe like a crystal ball which kind of projects its image onto the wall, so you can see what's going on within. Borb, what you see as the simulation boots up is kind of white cloud just kind of descends on your vision and kind of covers everything. So like from your feet up to your head, and everything you see around is white cloud. But just kind of far off in the distance, you just see this kind of orb of color, just kind of in like swirls. So you have like kind of, red, orange, green, blue, purple, just kind of all in a swirl. It's just kind of like spinning around and round and round.
All right.
And as if from a great distance, you hear the professor's voice. Okay, so don't worry about this. You're now inside the simulation. So hopefully nothing will go on. This is just your basic loading screen. And so what we're going to do once this is all loaded is just see how you deal with the situation. But hang on, what's that in the distance over there?
A big sphere. Big ball.
Do you want to go up and investigate it?
Borb moves over to the ball and investigates it.
Oh, okay. I can see it a lot better now. Oh, I've got to update it.
Borb is going to punch it.
It's all right. The updates don't take too long. It's all right. I mean, we could just kind of keep going with the old version, but yeah, it's okay. I can do it when we reboot it later. And you just hear kind of like clickety-clacky buttons, and the orb just kind of disappears, and stuff starts kind of loading in around you, like just the white fog just kind of fades away, and in its place is grassland with kind of a small forest nearby, a kind of hill on which is built a small settlement. And in the far reaches of towards the horizon, you see a large house, and in front of you is a small goblin. And back from the distance again, you hear, "Okay, so this is the simulation world. So what I want you to do is just kind of interact with this little goblin, see how things go. He'll kind of talk to you about bits and bobs, and all I want to do is just see how you interact with him. Okay? So
interact with the goblin. Fine. Does my character have his axe on him?
Strictly speaking, yes. But if we can let the goblin talk before we murder him, then
It's a goblin.
You did invite Borb to participate in this simulation. Yes.
24 to attack roll.
Wow.
Well, I imagine this would definitely hit the goblin. He probably has an AC of about 12. So as you smash him in across the chest with a big axe, he just goes, "No, please, no."
A tough one.
No hurt. I just want help. Please help.
A tough one. Okay.
No, please.
It was a psychological examination of sentient creatures. Yeah, that was the point, right? Success.
Yeah. That certainly says a lot.
Borb saw an enemy. Borb attack enemy.
Okay, are you attacking again?
Yes. 22. 22 points of damage. You asked Borb to interact with the goblin.
Okay, so as Borb swings his axe down for a second time on a defenseless goblin pleading for mercy, he cuts it straight in half.
That is... Yep, that's Borb.
And a note falls from the goblin's hand.
You asked Borb to interact with the goblin.
I did, that's on me. A note falls from the goblin's hand with a shopping list and a little note saying, please don't be too long this time, Daddy.
Oh.
Yep.
Ouch.
Pidge is watching Borb laugh with the headset on, and Borb is laughing and swinging, and Pidge and Nesgrax are just kind of hanging out in this room, touching a wall at the same time.
Okay, Borb's a little hurt by that one, but it's a goblin, so he also knows that it's not real.
Okay, so you hear Postlethwaite again from the distance. Okay, I wasn't really expecting that, but okay, maybe if I just change the parameters a little bit. And you hear the kind of tippy-tappy sounds again, and the fog comes back in front of you, and then just a moment later just disappears. And in front of you, instead of a goblin, is a young minotaur, who looks very much like a young Borb.
Aww.
Okay, let's try this one again.
All right, now I'm divided.
Please, sir, I need your help.
Okay, what need help with?
Oh, please, sir. I stole money from the big house, and he gestures towards the big house in the distance. I stole money from the big house, and they were chasing me, and I had to hide it in a tree, and he gestures towards the tree.
Okay.
But when I came back for it, it was gone, and the people in the village, and he gestures towards the village, they took it, but they used it to kind of build the houses and a hospital, and they used it to rehome animals, but I need the money back because the big people in the big house, and he gestures back towards the big house again, they say they killed my clan if I do not get the money back, but I cannot get the money back. What do I do?
Oh, shit.
How does Borb solve this problem?
Wouldn't it be nice if he had a slightly more intelligent character in there to help him out? But no, it's him alone in there.
Can we communicate with Borb while he's in there?
Not while you're not in there.
Yeah, Pidge is a party person. All together, or not at all.
How much did you take?
Oh, it was this much, and he just kind of gestures like with his arms. He doesn't really know how much, like gold wise, but it was a lot. I took all I could carry,
and I took it, hid it in tree. It is more money than I have ever seen before.
Is this sort of like a trolley problem for Borb?
Yeah, this is gonna be a...
He's like, but I can't smash the tree with the axe. Can I smash the note? What about if I smashed this?
No, the town people took the...
What can Borb
The
smash?
townspeople took the money,
Yes,
and
but they used it for
money's no
kind
longer
of,
in the tree.
Yeah, money is no longer in the tree. The townspeople used it to, build hospitals and kind of like rehome animals and all sorts.
Oh.
Borb is dying.
Oh, no. We just hear a beep.
I turn to Professor Gilligan and I'm like, I thought you said this was safe. And I shake the gnome by his shoulders.
I thought it was. I didn't think anyone would have this much difficulty with it.
Oh, this one's hitting at all the heartstrings for Borb right now, literally.
I mean, it's not like there's a right or wrong answer. I mean, there's no right way to do this, but there's no wrong way either. So I'm not quite sure what the issue is.
Professor, can we just get him out of there? This is too much for him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like torture.
You're torturing
I know, but the
Borb.
fact that the town used it that way is just... The fact that the town used it for those is just... Oh, okay. I can't take the money back from the town. Definitely. Right. I head towards the house.
Okay, as you kind of start walking off into the distance, you kind of like hit like an invisible wall. Just kind of like it stops you straight in its tracks, and you hear the voice again. I'm sorry, but I haven't built too much of the surrounding thing. The background is just a painting. I mean, it's a pretty good one, but it is just a painting. Remember, this is not all real.
So I can't reach the house. I can only hand...
No, this is about your decision making. What you decide to do here.
I'll pay off the money you owe.
You're serious? You give me the money so I can pay back the big people.
Yes.
Oh, you're very kind, but you do not know me. How do you know I would not just run away with it?
I will not give it to you, and I will give it to the ones you stole the money from.
But how do you know they will honor their bargain? They will not just kill my clan anyway.
Borb chuckles. I can deal with that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is very Borb. If you guys have seen multi-level, this is in character.
Nice. You hear the voice again. Okay, I think we've just about got yes, I've got the readout here. I think we're pretty much done with this one. I can pull you out if you like, Bob.
Okay, so good.
Okay, and so actually he comes back on the kind of the tannoy again, and it's like, oh, I should probably warn you. The way of getting you out of this is quite violent, so just be prepared.
Pidge in the room hears
Violent.
Dr. Gilligan say that, and before he can do anything, holds a staff, which is not a weapon, but it seems like a weapon, and is going to try an intimidation check on the professor at a -1. Again, it's not a weapon. And,
Okay.
What did you say about violence towards Borb?
No. It's just a way to shock the mind out of the simulation. So, if I just took,
Look at his mind. Do you think he can take shocks? What are you doing to him?
I mean, I can try it without the shock, but he might not all come out.
Oh my gosh. Pidge hates you.
Wait.
Okay, get him out of there.
I mean, I said it was mostly safe, right?
Sure, get him out. Yeah, use the shock.
Oh, okay. No. Doing the shock is completely safe. It's the only way to kind of like 100% guarantee to get him out.
Okay.
So
Pidge
it's
keeps
just
her weapon staff trained on you.
Absolutely fine. Hang on. So you just hear the kind of like the tippy tappy sounds again. He kind of presses away at a couple of buttons. Within the simulation Borb, you just kind of see storm clouds kind of gathering above you, and like sure enough, there's a bright flash of lightning as a bolt kind of comes down from the heavens and kind of strikes you right in the head. And you just kind of black out for a moment, and you kind of come back to reality, back in the lab with Pidge, Nesgrax, and Postlethwaite. See, it was absolutely fine.
I would like to talk to your institutional review board.
I mean, you know, the review boards is a part of the Institute of Morbid Curiosity. I'm not quite sure what you'd get from them, but I mean, you're more than welcome to try.
An institutional review board is a team of minimum 5 people, one of whom, for example, is from your field, one of whom, for example, is a member of the community, and they all approve experiments before they can happen. So do you have an institutional review board system in place for your experiments? Or do you just do experiments? Just doing them? Nobody really approves them? You just...
Oh, boy.
I mean, I got the funding from somewhere, right?
From where?
Do you really think they would not approve the funding if they did not approve the experiments? I mean,
I want to see Borb's consent form then. Tell me where it said that Borb might not come out whole.
He said he was okay doing it. That's a verbal contract.
Nope, there's no such thing in experimenting on sentient beings. There's no such thing as a verbal contract. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, all right, guys, we've got a new quest. Where'd you get your funding from?
Okay, that was intense. Not first time hit by lightning, but...
You almost didn't make it back out whole, Borb. Who funded you?
Oh, no, it's just a museum-funded project. So we get like a certain percentage of the total museum research funding for our stuff, and all we need to do is just kind of send back reports every so often of how it all goes. But the actual research is seeing how people interact with the simulations, not the means to how we do it.
I don't think I can change this system because it works totally different than the ones that I'm used to. Yeah. It's just all around different. Well, I throw my hands in the air.
We think we might have been in another simulation. Me think, at least.
Yes, how
Recently.
would we have...
Do you know anything about it?
Yes.
I mean, I don't see how it... I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, people do research the same things at the same time, but...
Pidge is written down stuff on pieces of paper. She's got her handy-dandy fire-breathing kitten's notebook with her. And this is a consent form. This is what it looks like, she says after like 10 minutes. It would make your research much better to fully inform the person that you're doing research on that they might not return whole before they participate in the experiment, because the difference between doing this and not is the difference between a good and a bad person. So you're a good person, right, Dr. Gilligan?
I mean, I think so, he says, pouring out his drink.
Okay, if you're a good person, then you should fully inform your subject before they do the experiment. Didn't they teach you that in wizard school?
Oh, Professor, I just thought of another question.
Yes, my boy.
We were, I don't think we explained this to you before, but we were in a situation where we were in a carriage, we were coming back home, all of a sudden a storm cloud came above us, sort of like the one in your simulation there, and then the ground shook, and then a giant millipede or beetle or possibly a pickle came, and we killed it, and once it fell down dead, then we woke up and we were in our guild where we spend most of our time, and we have no idea how we got back there. So, does any of that sound sort of simulation-y to you?
The pickle does intrigue me.
Me too.
What sort of pickle was it?
It was a fancy pickle in a jar. It was a nice pickle.
Ay.
I mean, honestly, nothing. I mean, it's entirely possible. I'm just.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood your question. When we woke up, I was eating pickles.
Oh.
The thing that was attacking us was probably either a millipede or a beetle or something. Probably not a pickle.
I get it. I understand.
It's fuzzy. Yes.
Okay. It was a fuzzy pickle.
It could have been. It was more likely a millipede or a beetle or something. Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I understand you. Oh. Okay, so let me get this straight. You were in a carriage, you fought some millipede pickled, and you killed it and woke up back here? Is that it?
Not back here, not in the museum. Back in our fire-breathing kittens guild.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
I will have to go over my notes, but we may be able to find an answer. I think. I mean, I do have a lot of research notes, and we may be able to get to the bottom of this. If I could call my oh no, I don't. No, okay. Sorry, no. There's a thought escaped me there. No. But yes, we may be able to find a way to explain this.
What were you about to say there when you said your thought escaped you? What was going on there? What were you about to say?
No. I mean, if I'm honest, my assistant, how to say, there was a bit of an incident in the machine. My assistant, he went into the machine, and I don't know what happened in there, but he never came out.
And you let Borb go in the machine? I hate this guy so much.
I mean, it was a different situation. I turned down, I put on all the safeguards with Borb. I put on the easy mode. I turned off the anti-aliasing. I turned off the god rays.
What does your assistant have to do?
I put it on low resolution. It seemed all right.
What does your assistant have to do with what happened to us?
Well, maybe nothing, maybe everything. I don't know, but you asked me what, the thought that escaped me, and I was going to say maybe my assistant could help with that, but then I remembered that he'd managed to get stuck in the machine.
What's your assistant's name?
My assistant's name is Gimblewink.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
How long have they been missing?
Well, I mean, they're not strictly. He's not strictly speaking missing.
How long have they been inside the machine?
Okay, because I was going to say he's over there, and he kind of gestures towards a bed in the corner of the room with a cloth over it. Oh. He's just over there.
Wait, is he dead?
No. He's still breathing, but there's no sign of any kind of comprehension from his body. So he is still alive.
How long ago did that happen?
2 days, maybe. I don't know how many pizza boxes are in my office. He usually cleans them up. I have 3 meals a day, so that's 3 pizzas. He just kind of looks back towards the office and goes, "Yes, 2.5 days."
Okay.
Eight pizzas ago?
Pidge would like to go over to this person with the cloth over them and remove the cloth from the form. What does she see?
She sees. This one is also a small young Minotaur. Pretty much. Borb would recognize him as the Minotaur he'd seen in the simulation.
Oh.
But the professor says, so yes, that is Gimblewing. He was not the one, Borb, you saw in the simulation. I just use his model to kind of like paste over the goblin because you kept attacking the goblin.
All right, Pidge is not strong, so she will cast Levitate. And levitate this poor, unconscious Minotaur. So, like, picture that he raises up from the bed and stays horizontal. And floats him out of the room without saying another word to Professor Gilligan Postlethwaite.
I say, Pidge, what are you doing?
Remember those handcuffs I gave you earlier?
Yes.
I throw them to you again, and I'm like, bring Gillian. Well,
I want to, but he seems to be our best chance to figure out what happened to us. Don't you see?
I mean, hear me out. I do have an idea, because at the moment I want to be able to get my friend back.
Your friend who you left unconscious for 2 days, who's probably about to die of dehydration.
I'm not saying I'm a good friend. I'm saying he's a good friend.
Okay, let's get some fluids in him, and then we'll hear your plan. Seriously, Nesgrax, handcuff him, and let's take him to I'm thinking the Church of Tyr. We need to, step 1, keep poor Gimblewink from dying, and step 2, everything else. I cast the 7th level spell Regenerate on Gimblewink. Touch a creature and stimulate its natural healing ability. Target regains 4d8 plus 15 HP. For the duration, the target regains 1 HP per turn, which is 10 HP per minute. The target's severed body parts, fingers, legs, etc., whatever is left after lobotomy, are restored after 2 minutes. If you hold the severed member to the stump, the limb knits together instantaneously. And that lasts for 1 hour. He'll have
after a lobotomy
per turn. Yeah, I don't know what happened to this guy's brain, but if he's missing any body parts, this will bring him back. Like, he didn't come back whole, right? So, structurally, he's now going to be back to whole. And I'd like to take him to a church. I'm a transfiguration wizard. I can't really heal. I can restore body parts, but...
Structurally, he's absolutely fine.
Yeah, we're now certain of that.
So, he fills out a little bit because he's getting a bit more moisture into his body, but he still doesn't wake up. So he was still breathing beforehand, and he's still breathing now. But if you kind of shook him, you wouldn't get any sort of response.
Yeah, let's take him to the Church of Tyr, get some liquid in him.
God, I wish I was playing Tin Man right now instead of Borb.
Okay, so I'm heading to the Church of Tyr. Nesgrax, are you coming with, or are you not? I threw you a pair of handcuffs, and I walked out the door.
You're out the door.
Is she kidnapping my assistant?
I don't think he's your assistant anymore.
I mean, I've got the contract.
Your victim.
So,
trust me, this is not the first time today.
So I reluctantly handcuff the professor, and I go, I'm so sorry.
Why are you apologizing to this evil villain?
Because I want his help.
We'll get that later. He wants to experiment on you, don't worry.
So as I sort of escort Professor Gilligan out of his office, I say, Professor, how would one know if they are stuck in a simulation?
That is a very good question. Well, usually you just have to look for the. I mean, bear in mind this is all very, very. I mean, you do have me in handcuffs, you know. I'm just saying. Normally, you need like a warrant for these sorts of things, right?
Well, normally you would need a consent form.
High five, Nesgrax.
We high five each other. Yeah.
Touché, sir.
So, can you answer my question, or is it?
You're just kidnapping all sorts of people today.
I'll return them once they're not dying. Seriously, if I'm unconscious and you do nothing for me for 2 days, I die. That's how human bodies work. I don't know about minotaurs.
I mean, he wasn't dying in the same sense. His body was still, working in the same way as it always did.
Oh, he was drinking water? Because you need like a good 2 liter of water each day or you die. It's amazing how few people know about the water needs of a normal human body.
3 days you can go without water.
Do you know what you look like on day 2?
Probably like this guy. Not great, but not dead.
He is a minotaur though. So does he have like a camel hump kind of a thing going on?
We'd have to ask Borb.
Are we at the Temple of Tyr yet?
Sorry, go ahead.
I believe we have a conversation to finish.
Yes, Professor, please. How would you know if you were stuck in a simulation? Would you be able to answer that question for me?
Oh, well, you've got to understand that this this is all very new, and I cannot guarantee the answer in my simulation would be the same as in someone else's simulation. Depends on the code you use and the sprites and all sorts of other mumbo-jumbo I'm sure you don't need to hear right now. But the way it would work in my simulation, I'd say you look for like the crack between the seams, if that makes sense to you at all. You look for the inconsistencies in the world, to put it bluntly, any weird stuff that's going on. So if stuff kind of just doesn't make sense, if anything doesn't line up properly, then that's a good indication. But it has to be like measurable things. So stuff which, like if you measured it one day was a certain length, and then you measure the same thing the next day and it was slightly different, then that would be an indication of whatever was creating it was kind of resetting its parameters every so often and getting it slightly different.
Interesting. Oh, well, off to jail.
Not jail. I just don't want him to run away. I'm not intending on taking this guy to jail.
You could have just left me in the bar.
I'm sure you wouldn't have run away.
I couldn't have done.
So in the Temple of Tyr, the only thing I want to do for this Minotaur guy is basically like rehydrate him, make sure that they can't bring him out of this, go through basic wellness check.
Yeah, okay. I just thought of something. So the priest there just kind of give him a look over and just kind of explain to you that it's really weird, but his body is completely healthy, but there's no sign of consciousness.
Okay.
So he's not brain dead in the same way as you'd understand it normally, but there's just no spark.
Okay. Can we rotate him, make sure he doesn't get any bed sores, like fully top him up on hydration? And, obviously he's been pooping on himself for 2 days. Can we clean that up and get him all spick and span?
Yeah. The priests are all kind of like, oh, you should have brought him to us sooner. I mean, what kind of? Oh, but not to worry. We can patch it. We can we can clean what we need to clean. But I mean, I don't know how to get his memory back or his consciousness.
We're gonna try that. I didn't want to diaper change this adult Minotaur myself.
I understand that they can get very messy.
Yes. Okay. So he's clean now, right? He's all
yeah. He's
hydrated. All right.
Hydrated, clean. He's got a new robe on. He's basically brand new, but still no consciousness.
All right, I'm gonna take him back to the simulation.
Oh, okay.
Gnome professor in tow. You are the only one who can fix this, aren't you, Dr. Gillian?
I mean, I don't mean to brag, but it is literally my machine.
Okay, you're coming in with us.
Doctor, I have a question. Doctor, you said
yes.
it
Lots
depends.
of questions today.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you remember a while ago when we were back here? And I was asking you. It was earlier. I was asking you about how you would know if you were in another simulation. You said it depended on whose simulation it was. Do you mean that there are other people who can create simulations?
I mean, it's entirely possible. Magic is really weird. As I'm sure you know, you appear to have some degree of magical powers yourself.
I do. I'm a powerful warlock.
Oh, you're one of those. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, it just seems a bit of a cheaty kind of method of getting magic. You don't mind my saying so.
From level 1 to level 13? What?
Look, I'm not proud of it. It's not like I pretend that I've earned it. I got drunk and I made a deal with a devil. Anywho,
you're going to have to tell me about that sometime. That sounds like a very, very much a drinking story. He sips the drink he's somehow managed to take from.
That seems odd.
You still got it.
You still have your drink?
I mean, I'm not going to let it go to waste. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. Hey, just offhand, you don't happen to have any measuring tape or anything lying about?
I've got 2 hands in handcuffs. I don't have anything lying about.
You could just tell me where it is.
I can unhandcuff the guy. I just didn't want him escaping as we went to the church.
No, I perfectly understand. You don't want your victims getting away from you.
Well, I don't think he even thinks of himself as a villain. I think he feels no guilt at all. So the fact that he wouldn't even try to run away makes sense. He probably would well, anyway. So yeah, he doesn't feel like he did anything evil, does he? So yeah, we don't need to handcuff you. You apparently aren't going to run away. I take your handcuffs off, Dr. Gillian.
Oh, thank you. If I could ask, why are they pink and fluffy?
For your comfort. All right.
Okay.
So about that measuring tape, could we, you know what I'd really like to do is maybe just get a ruler or something and measure that paperweight you showed us earlier.
I mean, I can try.
That would be great. I'm curious.
I'm sure I can find. I'm sure I can find something when we're back.
Okay. So, are we at the museum now?
Oh yeah, we're in the room with the bed.
Okay,
with
we are back then.
Fresh pair of sheets on it.
Okay,
because you guys
gotcha.
apparently aren't picturing the same 2 days passing that I am.
Yeah, I want to escort the professor back to his office.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. We head back into Professor Postlethwaite's office. You want to dig out the jade figurine we came across earlier and just kind of measure it, right?
Yeah.
That's where you're going with this.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's about 20 centimeters, so that's about 8 inches high.
Okay, so that seems consistent with what we saw earlier. Fine.
Okay. Are we done with that? Because
if I could just take that measuring tape, that would be great.
Yeah, you could go for it. Whatever.
I'll just hold on to that for a bit.
And I mean, I'm a little preoccupied with, my assistant who does look a lot better. No credit where credit's due. I did not think to replace the liquid in his body. Oh, that would have ended up badly, wouldn't it? So I should probably thank you for that.
Nesgrax sneakily looks around to see if there's more bodies just lying around.
No. That is the only one.
Good.
The smell tells you that. But if you wouldn't mind, I know we've had a strange afternoon, but I would very much appreciate your help in trying to retrieve my assistant from wherever he's trapped.
Well, he's trapped in the simulation. You said so, right?
Yes.
We would love to help you. In fact, I will operate the instrument for you. Why don't you train me in it a bit, and you will go inside, and we will help bring you back. Because isn't it right that you need a shock to bring you back? So you couldn't have operated this yourself to go in after your assistant. I can totally understand why you needed our help. So we'll help you. We'll put this visor over your eyes.
Quick question. Did you try shock him?
Bob, yeah, I did try and pull up the interface, but something interfered with it, and I know I wasn't able to kind of shock him in the same manner as I was able to shock you. I don't know what happened. It's like something interfered with it.
Oh.
Pidge, I'm gonna need a persuasion check off you.
Okay. I'm not very good at that. 12.
I'm making up. What kind of check did he say? I didn't catch that.
Persuasion check from Pidge to persuade Dr. Gillian to be the one to go in. I'd put a visor on the unconscious Minotaur and on Dr. Gillian if I got my way. But my persuasion check was 12.
He looks at Pidge and goes, I don't, if I'm honest, I don't think that will work. I literally designed and built this machine. If anything goes wrong, I'm fairly confident I'll be the only one to be able to get you out. So
why not just open up thing and pull him out?
Oh, Borb.
Borb looks at the machine.
Borb.
Oh, Borb. Oh, Borb. You are precious.
Borb doesn't understand technology, so...
So, Bob, the thing about metaphysical illusion magic is that the concept of oneself is not necessarily defined by one's physical self, but one's emotional and conscious self. So when I say that he is lost in there, it's not necessarily his physical self that is lost in there, more his emotional self and more of his conscious being that is lost in there rather than his actual physical thing. It's more of an existential thing that's going on with this. So it's not necessarily his actual being which is lost in there, which, as we've seen, is on this bed over here. More of his mind that is lost. And that is the thing, Bob. That is the thing we will try and get back. Any questions?
And Borb gave up on trying to understand everything that your character just said because it's a lot of big words and he has no idea. He just nods.
Excellent.
Nesgrax sort of looks up in size and he goes, "Put me in there."
I agree with this plan. I will learn how to operate the machine from Dr. Gillian, and if we put a visor on you and a visor on the Minotaur, maybe you can bring him out?
I'll try.
Oh man, you're really brave.
No, it's just we're going into a simulation. I'm pretty sure we're already in a simulation. I just want to get out of this simulation. So let's just move on with it.
Okay. All right. So Pidge is going to do her best to study from Dr. Gillian. I've got my fire-breathing kittens notepad out. I'm writing down everything he does and asking him lots of questions. Maybe this will help him be more conscious of which buttons he's pressing so that he's not going to make any silly mistakes. It's kind of like I'm forcing him to go down a checklist.
Yeah, okay. So he kind of like rather kind of gingerly just kind of takes you through the general idea of how the thing works. So he kind of runs you through all the kind of debugging aspects that you've got to do beforehand, all the kind of the kind of simulation builds, all the kind of geometry that goes into creating these worlds, and the kind of he at least attempts to explain because you're a transfiguration wizard, not an illusion wizard. You understand most of what he's saying, but not necessarily the kind of specific bits, because he tries to explain, as wizards tend to do, with a lot of kind of like very vague terms, a lot of kind of like more of a feeling kind of thing when he's trying to describe the actual magical input as to what's going on. So he tries to explain, give the impression of like a kind of a mid-air twist to the magic, and just kind of like trying to take one universe and kind of like flip it into a different universe, while also remaining in the same universe. It's very complicated, and Borb would have no chance of understanding any of it. But Pidge, you get the idea of what's going on rather than the actual specifics. But you, after like a while, you kind of get the feeling you could probably operate it, like fairly efficiently, but not like you know what most of the major knobs and buttons do, basically.
All right, there's a little bit of safety built into what we're doing. If Dr. Gillian has a heart attack right now, I can try to bring Nesgrax back out.
So you are more than welcome just to kind of supervise, for want of a better word, what he's doing. So he grabs a headset for Nesgrax and just kind of puts it on your head and just goes, "Okay, does anyone have any questions before we go?" And actually, Nesgrax, it may not come up. But just be careful in this universe not to kind of breathe any fire by accident. It could melt everything and might go a bit wrong.
Oh, you mean in the real world?
In this world, yes. Just as a dragonborn, I'm fairly confident you can breathe fire. Just try not to do that.
It's true.
Just as a safety precaution, I don't have any fire extinguishers, so things could go quite badly.
Of course you don't.
There's a lot of paper as well. I'm just saying. It's a fire hazard, just waiting to explode. Be careful.
Great.
Borb looks around the office. Might fix up place.
And let's face it, I've read the police reports from Kefastian. Oh, you guys, you do burn a lot of stuff down. Oh.
Me had nothing to do with that.
I'm sure you didn't, Bob. You are a precious flower.
Yeah,
See, you don't have to make a deception check if you don't say anything. So I'm just gonna not say anything.
Okay.
Yeah, because that means that Get Fasty knows that... okay.
Okay, so is everyone ready to go?
All right, so Borb is going to put on a headset as well.
Lev.
Yes.
Thanks, Bob.
Excellent. Okay, so this process is going to be a little different to the one we did beforehand, because we are attempting to recreate the program and go in via Gimblewink's mind. It's going to feel a little different, so it's going to be a bit strange, but hopefully things should go absolutely fine. No weird stuff. And he just looks off into the distance and goes, "Not again.
Yeah.
Please, not again."
Okay, I'm worried now.
But I'm confident you can pull it off. I mean, you're the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild. You're like the creme de la creme of adventurers, I'm told.
You could have waited until after we went in to
All right, everyone ready to go?
Again.
Excellent. And he presses a big green button. And the white fog enfolds you.
If Borb
If
Borb ends up being a brain dead character, I will.
Okay, so we're in the fog.
Okay, so the fog envelops you. It's the same kind of white fog as Borb has experienced previously, but it feels a bit different because you're going in via someone else's mind. There is kind of flashes of his consciousness, his memories. So there was just kind of like vague like flashes of like kind of a young Minotaur in childhood, kind of learning to ride a bike and learning to dunk basketballs and running from the police for the first time, as everyone has done. It just happens. Okay, so eventually, after a kind of a tumultuous journey, you kind of find yourself landing on your feet in a very strange location. Nesgrax and Borb, give me a perception check.
Love to.
Oh, not so good. 10.
21.
Ooh, very nice. Okay, so you both you both see the whole area around you. So it is a very large, very old, almost like a Colosseum kind of thing. So it's all very kind of like made of sandstone, and the ground under you is kind of sandy gravel. Nesgrax with a 21, you see a little ways into the distance, maybe 150 feet off. That sounds like a lot. I work in metric. I think 45 meters
Let's say
away. You
About
see
50 or so meters, so.
Yeah. You see a block, what seems to be a large block of ice, which is quite unusual because the sun is quite high in the sky. It feels really hot around you. But there is just this one big block of ice in the middle of this Colosseum.
Okay. Interesting.
Borb, do you remember when we were fighting that giant millipede thing and I cast frost on it and nothing happened? It was like it was immune to cold.
Yes.
Do you think there's a connection there?
That would be a lot of ice.
Thank you for your insight. I walk up to the.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I walk up to the ice, the big piece of ice, and I touch it. I put my hand on it.
It's cold. It's ice, but within the ice, it's about. Maybe like 4 feet across. It's about 8 feet high, just in a big kind of cuboid, like phone booth sized, but just ice. But within the ice, there is this hazy form of a large being.
Bob, I think we could use your.
How large?
Yeah, how large? Yeah.
Minotaur-sized?
That's for someone else to ask, because Pidge is not in the simulation.
Nope.
Hey.
How large?
Yes,
There we go. Yeah, it's about the same sort of size as the assistant you saw earlier.
Well, I'm a little bit afraid to use my fire breath here to try to melt this ice. Yeah, it might melt everything inside. Bob, do you think you could use your axe and chop through the ice?
Sure. Asking Borb to attack something. Yeah, not a problem. So, Borb is going to swing at the ice.
Okay, I'm not going to make you roll to hit because it's a massive block of ice and it's not going anywhere. So that would not make sense. So Borb takes his axe and swings it into the side of the ice. A small amount chips off, but there's this weird sense of unrest that kind of emanates from the surrounding area, as if you've kind of started to disturb something that would really rather not be disturbed.
Okay, then I'm going to continue swinging.
That's about right.
Disturbing something.
That's about right.
I say, Bob, you might want to put a pause on that.
If something doesn't want to be disturbed, I'm going to disturb it.
Well, could we just talk about it for a little bit? Maybe.
He swing, he hit. Borb goes for a second round, swings his axe back into the ice, ignoring any ominous feelings he gets. Which I think, to be honest, deserves inspiration, so go ahead and tick that off.
And yes,
Because
I was wrong. That is the bardic inspiration is the one I did earlier. It is indeed advantage, like you guys were saying. So
it's all right. It just makes it even better for you.
I continue to tell Borb. It's Borb. I'm getting a bad feeling. Can we just maybe settle down and figure this out?
Outside,
right.
Outside the simulation, back in the control room, Postlethwaite looks at Pidge and goes, "Are you absolutely sure these are the best two to send in?"
No, you would have been better for sure.
I mean, no, not really. I'm
okay. Borb stops.
I'm quite frail. I'm old. I look at my hair. I can't do anything. But so back inside.
Okay, Borb looks at Borb stops. What? Me breaking ice?
Thank you, Borb. Okay. There's obviously something here that doesn't want us to break open this giant ice cube. I feel like if we're inside of this boy's mind, there could be a good reason that he's frozen in ice, some sort of trauma or something that could be preventing him from wanting to become conscious again. I don't know.
Yeah, I've met his boss.
So I'll read and let him out. Borb takes the axe up again.
Nesgrax waves his hands like,
I'm sorry.
Seriously.
But I have an axe.
I have to play Borb the way he's built.
Yeah, that's what Borb would do.
Well, Nesgrax just shrugs and he goes, "Borbs will be Borbs."
With the third swing into the ice, the feeling you get that was previously of, the feeling you get when someone says you shouldn't ought to have done that, becomes a lot more powerful, and around you hear just kind of a sound as the sun kind of darkens a bit, and directly above you a shadow looms, dropping back down towards you.
Oh,
Okay.
this is gonna be bad.
And then you wake up with a jar of pickles.
Start this again.
All right, what are we dealing with?
Before you lands what can only be described as a giant sphinx.
Kitty!
What was that?
Borb loves kitties.
He loves a kitty.
Yes.
Yes.
So the Sphinx lands in front of you, but does not attack. She just kind of looks at you and just goes, "What are you doing here?"
Breaking ice.
Nesgrax goes, "Hello, sexy."
I mean, you've woken me up. You've damaged my art installation. What excuse could you possibly give me for your being here?
Okay. Letting him out. Borb points at the...
Nesgrax says, I think we've got on the wrong foot. I am Nesgrax. This is my friend Borb. We were sent here to just check to see if this Minotaur was doing okay. Who might you be?
That is not the question I expect of such lowly peasants. Is it just you two, or are there more of you hidden in the rafters?
Well, first of all, I take a bit of umbrage.
Rafters? Borb looks up. We see no rafters.
I do take a bit of umbrage at the at the word peasant. I was formerly a noble, so I just want to just put that out there, just so we're aware. No, it's just myself and my friend, but of course, we have friends in high places as well.
She kind of looks you up and down and was like, friends in low places, I believe.
Well, I guess it depends on your perspective.
I don't believe you when you say you're not alone. Bring in the other one.
Bring in the other one?
Other one?
Yes, the little one that keeps causing trouble. Bring it in.
Ah, I see. What do you need us for? What do you need all three of us for?
To get rid of the witnesses.
Well, for a start, I want you to explain why you've come to damage my art, why you think you could steal from me, and why you think I shouldn't kill you right now. So I say bring her in.
I say...
No.
I say, I'm afraid we're at a stalemate unless you tell us who you are.
I mean, it's not really a stalemate, is it? I could quite easily kill you now and have done with you.
Last I checked...
Okay, congratulations.
Last I checked, we were in a simulation, so, I mean, you can try, but I believe we'll just wake up after a violent attack, won't we? Right? Right, guys?
My dear boy, who on earth told you this was a simulation?
Oh, fiddlesticks.
I think we can make do. Borb pulls out his axe. Bad kitty.
However, I am frankly quite bored up here. It's been a long time since I had anyone, well, aside from this mangy rat here to entertain me, so I will make you this one-time deal. You bring in the other one of you, and I will give you all one chance to explain to me in as few words as possible why I should not just kill you all now, kill this mangy rat here, and go about my merry way.
Because if you don't free him, you will be the one that won't be going anywhere. Borb is now holding his axe.
No, Nesgrax goes, shh, shh, shh. and he says, just to be clear, when you say mangy rat, are you referring to that Minotaur in the Ice Cube?
Oh, is that what you call it? Well, it was a very different word for them in my day, but if that is what you wish to call this, a Minotaur, fine. Looks like a rat to me, anyway.
Just to be double clear, was the person in this ice cube, did he look something like my friend Borb here?
I mean, maybe. I can't tell the difference sometimes, you mortals all look the same.
It's just sort of strange. You keep calling him a mangy rat when really what we're looking for is sort of a half man, half cow kind of a thing. Right? Is that what we're looking for? That's what a Minotaur looks like,
out
right?
of character, yeah. That is, exactly what you're looking at.
Great.
All I see is bad kitty.
So, look, I want to progress this because I'm sick and tired of not knowing if I'm in reality anymore. So we'll call our friend to come join us, but you have to give us more information. What is it that you want from us?
I believe I have explained that already. Mostly I just want to be left alone, but we could always do with some entertainment every now and then, can't we? Bring her in, and then I will explain what I wish to explain.
I wish Mendax was here. He could sing a song.
And then we will see about killing you or not. I'm personally not that bothered, but hey, that is the world we live in, isn't it?
This seems like a bad deal. I'm not
This
going
is
to
the deal. Pray I do not alter it further.
Borb is getting angry right now.
Can I shout, Professor, I think we want to leave.
I mean, are you quite sure? I personally, you have my full support. I believe you can do anything you set your mind to, and I believe in you guys. Come on, you got this.
Are we able to see into the simulation, or do I not know what's going on? I don't know.
No. We've got the crystal ball outside, which is kind of projecting. So you're aware of what's happening.
Okay. Well, then I turn to the professor and I take out a seed and I use my once per long rest speak with plants to whisper a certain set of instructions to this seed.
Okay.
And I say, Professor, if you swallow this seed, then I will go into the simulation. But you should know that you want me to come back out.
What does the seed do?
Well, if I come back out, nothing. Nothing at all.
And if you don't come out, I mean, I'm on your side in this. I want you to come out. I want you to bring my assistant, my friend out.
Okay, well then there's nothing to fear.
So I have no reason for you not to come out. So is that really necessary? You don't need to threaten me in order to...
It's not a threat. Nothing will happen if...
I mean, it certainly sounds like one.
If there's nothing going to happen to us wrong, if, for example, the Sphinx is truly a separate entity and not you, and we can indeed convince it to let us and your first victim out, then there will be nothing that happens to you if you eat this seed. It's just a little bit of omega-3. It's got some ALA in it. It's got high fat content, a little bit of protein, a little bit of fiber, and that's it if we come out.
So the deal is that if I eat this seed, you go in, you help your friends, you bring my friend out,
yeah,
and then you come back, and then what happens with the seed?
Nothing. Oh, well, you'll get some ALA from it and alpha-linolenic acid, and that's about it. A little bit of fiber.
Okay, can I get that in some writing?
Yes, I write this down.
Because as you've taught me, apparently I need a contract, like
absolutely. I write it down. If I come out, this seed stays a seed.
Okay.
And I'll give it 3 days. If I come out within 3 days.
And if she does not,
well,
I have every confidence in you.
You'll have if she does not, you have shoes planted.
And let's face it, if this whole experiment ends up being a bust, yeah,
if she does not, you'll be a nice shoe planter, or tree planter.
I mean, if this whole experiment ends up being a bust, the museum's going to have my ass anyway, so I may as well have whatever thing this does to me. They're really not very nice people.
I fully write down that...
You seen that Fletcher? He's a monster.
All the information about the seed, which is that if I return in 3 days or less, nothing happens. That's all. And this is totally upfront with you. If I don't return on the 4th day, yeah, you'll die.
Won't he have pooped out the seed by then?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, that seems fine. I mean, I trust you. I trust your abilities. I don't think we'll have that much of a difficulty. Okay, should I go get the headset?
Okay, and then for the record, just so that the audience knows, the seed has been instructed to slowly grow. It's not actually going to kill him. It's going to make him go to the authorities and to then speak our story to the authorities. So it'll drive him, due to the pain, it's going to root in him.
Oh.
It'll drive him to go seek assistance, and then once it's there, it will spill.
Okay. I see.
That's what my speak with plants... I'm not going to kill the guy, you guys.
All right, so it's like bamboo torture.
I don't know. I'm just saying, it'll stop him from, killing a whole bunch of minotaurs. So that's my plan.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So he kind of agrees to that a bit, not quite reluctantly, but a bit. Okay. I mean, it's like he'd rather not have this weird seed inside of him, but if he has to, then yeah, sure, fine. He trusts you. Go for it.
All right, there you go. There's a seed. And the reason why it doesn't matter, the digestive tract of gnome probably would pass it before 3 days, but it's just going to do a little fuzz root and lodge itself in right below his heart. Yeah.
Okay. Lovely.
A little bit post-stomach. Yeah. Got some duodenum action going on there.
Lovely. Okay. So he puts the third headset on you. He's like, okay, so I'm just gonna chuck you in, okay? You'll be absolutely fine. You don't have any questions. You know how this all works. So he's just kind of tapping away, and it's like, okay, okay, let's go. Presses the green button again, and the white fog kind of like envelops you, and you land. Would you like to land next to Borb and Nesgrax, or just kind of a little ways off them? I'll give you the choice.
Behind the Sphinx.
Behind the Sphinx.
Ooh.
My flanking friends.
Okay, so inside the simulation, the Sphinx is just kind of hanging around waiting for Pidge to arrive, and as soon as she does, the Sphinx is like, well, finally, what sort of time do you call this?
You called me an it. You're lucky I came.
I didn't want to assume your gender.
All right, okay.
We've got to be respectful, don't we?
You're a very progressive Sphinx.
For a murder Sphinx, you're not half bad.
I have not murdered anyone that has not deserved it. They enter my plane. They try and steal my items. This mangy cur here tried to steal some of my most prized possessions, and I have not killed it. I've merely encased it in ice for my own amusement.
I'm sorry, you called it a mangy what?
A cur.
How do you spell that?
I think it's C-U-R. It basically just means a dirty kind of bilge rat kind of.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's an insult. It's an old English insult.
I just knew quest.
It saves me from saying mangy rat more than 3 times.
Pidge?
Yes, Borb?
Kitty die now.
Well, so Borb, I like your idea. Let's see if there's other ways first, and then yes, I agree with that idea as a plan B. Let's call it a plan B. Plan A. What's your name, Sphinx?
We hate B.
Names are so last millennia, but if you must know, my name is Onira.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And what do you want from us? Like, are we supposed to leave and take this mangy cur out of your hair? Are we supposed to stop people from coming and visiting you some more? Like, how can we help you?
Well, what I want to know is why all of a sudden I've gotten so many visitors which I have not asked for.
Dr. Gillian Postlethwaite of the Niqamui Museum of Natural History in the country of Guaso in the world of Draws is the one who did this to you. Kids don't do that. It's illegal. But I did. This is where he works. This is where his office is.
This is his social security number.
Here are his equipment operation notes. And I give her a copy. I have stuff for copying, because since I'm a wizard and I copy spells into my spell book, and I give her a copy of all of the equipment operation notes. Here you go, Nira.
Okay. Okay, so I'm imagining it in like a ring binder.
It's organized. There are tabs.
Okay, I mean, she does have like quite large paws, so you might have to like hold it up for her and just kind of flip through so she can read it.
Absolutely.
So she kind of goes, No, this is. I must say, this is rather. This rather makes for quite disturbing reading. Yeah. Oh. See, the thing is that you may not know it, but I inhabit a plane to myself. This is my own creation. This is my home. No one else is meant to be able to get here, you understand? And that you have managed to get here seemingly quite easily is quite disturbing to me. But I sense, and she just kind of like stares at the three of you, like there's some kind of flash of kind of magical energy around you, but you don't sense that it's harmful in any way. Just more of an analytical kind of thing. Like she's trying to kind of learn about you, kind of divine where you've come from, and she just kind of goes, "Yeah, yes, I believe you've travelled here from perhaps further than you believe, somewhere that's maybe you don't even know you've come from. I will. Okay, here's my deal. I honestly couldn't care less about killing you. It's honestly a bit of a bore sometimes, so my deal is this.
The juices get everywhere. It's so annoying to clean up.
It's so messy. I don't have any servants anymore. I ate them all. They kept using the wrong version of there, and it's just a nightmare.
That's the worst.
It is, honestly. Especially when everything we say here is, completely verbal. Using the wrong word, using the wrong there in speech?
How dare they?
I know.
You wouldn't have thought it was possible, but there you go. So, here's my deal for you. You people, is it? Are you people?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Here is my deal.
Close.
My deal for you is that you take whatever this thing is away from you. You make sure that whatever brought you here is destroyed. Whatever it is, just get rid of it. I don't care how. You that's the only thing I'm concerned about, that no one else gets back here.
Deal.
Well,
But
hold on.
But I will say
I was
that
already planning on destroying it anyways.
He probably was.
Yeah, he probably was. Borb smash. That's how it worked. But she kind of looks you back up and down and goes, But I sense the path before you is not quite so simple as you may expect. So I will bestow upon you certain things that may help you get back to where you should be. And she just kind of waves a tail, and a couple of things kind of appear before you. So Pidge, before you is a kind of a golden mist. It's not really an actual thing, but as it kind of wafts into your head, you kind of feel this sense of clarity about your pursuit for knowledge. So you are now able to cast Comprehend Languages at will.
Ooh.
Even though it is not a transfiguration spell.
Well then she never will.
But
Sorry.
she has the ability to.
Mm.
Borb in front of you, she just kind of goes, I get the feeling that maybe your interactions with other beings aren't necessarily as fruitful as you may wish, so I will provide you with the means to help you in conversation. And kind of before you appears this black ball with one clear pane of glass. And she just goes, all you have to do to use this is when you're in conversation with someone and you're not quite sure Whether you've said the right thing or how they feel about you, just shake it, and maybe it will make the answers clearer.
Oh, no way.
So this is a magic ball of 8, and it will give you advantage on insight checks.
Wow. Okay. Borb picks it up.
And just to annoy her, we spell the magic ball of 8 with ATE.
ATE?
Sacrilegious.
Oh, wow.
I go, but I hold it for Borb, like I hold it down, and I go, this is not for eating.
Yeah, it's not for eating. And then she looks at Nesgrax and just goes, you are a little more difficult to read, young dragon.
Thank you.
What is it you would ask of me as far as a gift goes? Because it seems to me the one thing you wish for most, I cannot grant.
The one thing I wish for most is to be reaccepted by my family. You can't grant this.
Respect is not to be given, it is to be earned. That is a journey you must take yourself.
Well, in that case, my clan is the fire-breathing kittens, and I wish for the ability to help them as much as I possibly can.
I mean, okay, there's a lot of grey area on that, but I'll see what I can do. And she kind of thinks for a moment and goes, all right, I think I've got it, and just kind of swishes a tail, and in front of you, a clay urn appears. Out of game, this is an alchemy jug. So it's basically a jug which can kind of produce multiple different types of liquids, like beer, wine, mayonnaise, that sort of thing.
You know what your guild wants.
Mayonnaise is my favourite thing in there.
Oh. Yeah, mayonnaise is a great one. But it's just kind of fun. You're like, I really want to help my guild. And they were like, you want to give them some alcohol?
Or mayonnaise.
It's a deli sandwich day at the guild. Mayonnaise is on the house.
Oh, yeah. But she kind of looks at you afterwards and goes, when I looked into your mind, the only thing I saw was a longing to gain acceptance from your family and a longing to drink alcohol. So I thought, well, it's the one thing I can give you. So
it's deli sandwich day. Who's got the pickles? And Nesgrax goes, no.
I say to the Sphinx, this is cool.
I mean, you're not wrong, but yes. Now, honestly, please, just go and take this thing with you, and just she kind of like kind of gives a loud roar, and the ice around the figure kind of crumbles away, and Gimblewink kind of stands in front of you, just kind of like panting and heaving. It's like, what's going on?
Vanira?
Yes?
Do you have like a guest house that I can stay in for like another 3 days?
Oh.
No.
I hear you. Oh.
Anyway, time works differently here.
Can I clean your house for you? Can I can harvest some fruit for you?
Just go.
You got any minion?
You really want to stay in there for 3 or more days?
Yep, I do. You got any minion juices you need me to clean up? I can file your nails.
Just go. I want you out.
Okay.
And then from outside, outside the universe, effectively, you hear. Did I hear her right? I think I heard her saying, "You can pull that. Hang on a second. Let me find the lightning button. Bear with me." And storm clouds kind of gather around you, as Borb. You've noticed, you've experienced before, so you know it's not actually that bad. You know how the whole process works.
Yeah, hold on tight. This is going to be interesting.
So you hear kind of lightning crackle and goes as lightning bolts kind of spark down from the sky and kind of hit each one of you in turn. And the Colosseum disappears, the Sphinx disappears as you land back in the control room of
okay, show
the doctor's office.
Borb pulls the headset off and crushes it in his hand.
Oh, hey, Borb. Hi. Welcome back.
What are you doing?
Borb also grabs the other headsets off the other two.
Okay. Oh, he's crushing them. He crushed my headset.
I made a promise to that Sphinx, and I plan to keep it.
Pidge is looking around for a spinning top. She goes and gets the jade stone. She runs out of the room while Borb smashes the equipment, and she measures the jade stone.
Guys, good idea. Guys, shouldn't we just check on that Minotaur first?
Borb smashes every piece of equipment inside the laboratory that he can get his hands on.
I go check on the body of the Minotaur in the room.
The Minotaur in the other room is still alive, still breathing. He's now asleep, but it's definitely a different. You feel kind of like that it's a different existence to how it was beforehand. Whereas he was just kind of lying there with nothing going on. He's actually kind of like rolled over onto his side, and he actually seems to be kind of dreaming properly rather than just blank. So he is back in his own body. He is absolutely okay.
Yeah, Borb's doing what he's good at.
Borb smash.
He's smashing stuff.
Borb smash.
I look at the Minotaur and I caress his forehead and I say, "Welcome back, Prince." And I kiss his forehead gently.
Aww. Okay, what's Pidge doing?
How big is the stone?
The stone is what I said 8 inches last time.
Before you said 8 inches, yeah.
20 centimeters, I wrote down.
Yeah. It is 21 centimeters.
So we're never actually back.
All right. Cool. I find Nesgrax in a position that I open the door, I look inside, and then my face remains the same expression, and I close the door slowly.
Yeah, oh, from me. Yeah.
I'm just gonna wait in the hallway until they're both done.
I exit the room and I wipe my eye with my finger like a tear was there.
There's nothing There's very little scientific equipment remaining in the laboratory right now, or anything that resembled something Borb didn't recognize.
All right, and I called off my plant. I can only speak with plants once per long rest, so I have to high five the professor because it's a physical signal, not me talking to the plant.
Yeah.
So, hey, prof, give him a high five. He's like, why? And I'm like, this doesn't mean I like you. But the seed.
The very reluctant high five, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nesgrax.
Yes.
21 centimeters.
It is a simulation.
Do you want to do a lightning bolt?
Can I do that?
Punch me in the face.
Punch me as hard as you can.
Punch me as hard as you can. Wait, maybe not in the face. But don't do a Houdini. Don't punch people in the...
Borb looks at Pidge and fist.
No. I take it back.
You really want me to?
Nope. I just remembered what happened to Houdini, so actually I'm good. I guess Pidge... Water? We could jump in cold water. Yeah?
I have an idea. We could touch the things that say don't touch and see what happens.
The skull.
Yeah.
Okay, we go back. Well, first, so on a level of lowest risk possible outcomes, Could we possibly jump in a cold pool of water on our way to the skull? Is there, for example, like a penguin display in this Museum of Natural History or something like?
I mean, there are marine exhibits. I did say so earlier.
They're marine exhibits. I just want to like sneak in, hop in one real quick, get real ice cold real fast, feel my chest seize up with the cold water around me. And then dripping, tell my friends that didn't work. And then...
Do you need me here, or can I go?
Yeah, let's see if it works. I run out to just watch Pidge jump in the cold water.
Pidge gets real wet and real cold real fast.
I had a feeling.
I turn around to look for Fletch.
Fletcher is nowhere to be seen.
Okay, he's nowhere to be seen. No problem.
Okay, well, that didn't work, guys. I'm very cold and wet now.
Everyone, give me a history check.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not gonna even bother.
Oh my god. 14.
Non-natural 20.
Nice.
If this is about machines, automations, or magical items, let me know.
Borb, how are we doing for history?
If this is about hitting things or little nature, let me know.
No, it's not. It's just straight personal history.
Oh, personal history?
Yeah. So just roll me a history.
Okay, that I can do a little bit of.
I'll tell you if you remember something important.
If it's personal history, that can be done. Okay. 16.
Okay. So I think Pidge probably twigs first, because you're all kind of looking around for a way to deliver a kind of a proper shock to each one of you. But then, Pidge, you remember the dream you had right at the beginning, where you ended up waking up in the side room of the guild hall, and you remember that the way you woke up there wasn't necessarily caused by a shock. It was just caused by your death.
Aha, we did die.
Death? Because a thing fell on me when I was a T-Rex. It was the same height as me? But it was the same height as me. Huh.
Yeah, it's almost as though things that don't make sense is the sign of being in a simulation.
Okay.
Right, remember, it did do it in slow motion. That's right.
Oh,
almost as if it was a cutscene.
Oh my god.
Okay, Borb and Nesgrax, you got a kiss.
Kiss?
What?
Why?
It's not for me, it's for the fans. I mean, it's for you to wake up.
Okay, I grab Borb by the horns. And I kiss him. And I just lick him like all over his wet nose and everything.
Oh my gosh. All right, Dragonborn Minotaur kiss scene achieved. All right, does the whole museum wake up?
Okay, Borb gets slobber on his face and the authors have a field day.
Did it work?
Does it? Borb pulled out his axe.
No, I think maybe you get the idea that Pidge was messing with you.
I thought that would work.
I know.
So you remember that the last time you woke up in the side room of the Niqamui Guild Hall, that the big centipede pickle monster just fell on you. So it wasn't necessarily a shock from lightning that did it. Maybe it was just something to break the constraints of the universe you were currently in. So in our world, if you break the program, then it just crashes. It's a real world analogy.
So we need to break the program.
What kind of oddity?
If there was some weird thing to break the program that would come out of it. Well, who knows? Certainly nothing that doesn't have a big "do not touch" sign on it.
I grab Borb by his horns and I give him a big wet kiss again. And then I run to that skull and I touch the skull.
All right, Nesgrax is on a mission.
I am sick to death of this simulation. I want out. Touch.
Okay, Nesgrax runs up to the skull, which until recently had a sign on it saying, please, really do not touch. It now no longer has the sign saying, do not touch. So, therefore, it's okay to touch the thing. This does not work in a museum. Don't touch stuff. I'm just saying. But he runs up, grabs the skull, and it starts to glow blue and kind of jitter around in his hand. And there's a weird kind of puff of inky, gooey, black stuff. And Nesgrax disappears.
Bye. Pidge slowly walks up to the place that Nesgrax used to be in. She looks at the skull.
And the skull kind of falls to the floor.
Oh, man. He had a good, 6 seconds of holding the skull, right? Before he... So it's okay for me to pick it up and put it back on the pedestal? Okay. First, I go to the coat room, and I retrieve the 2 eggs and the do not touch sign.
Okay.
And then I use my 6 seconds of existence to put the skull back up on the pedestal and the do not touch sign there, too.
Okay.
Borb, touch this.
the runes etched in the skull kind of glow, enticingly, as if to say, come on, it'll be fun.
I touched it.
All right, so the skull, as you hold it, starts to kind of glow again, the same way it did for Nesgrax, and the kind of the runes kind of light up. The eyes kind of seem to pierce at you, and they just kind of envelop you in blackness. As Pidge disappears and the skull falls to the floor. Borb, you're the only one left.
The pedestal.
Yeah,
the pedestal, so no one else has to die.
The floor of the pedestal.
Borb just picks up the skull.
Oh no.
Okay, so very much the same sort of thing happens. The runes glow, the eyes light up, and Borb from this universe just disappears. So, what happens next, you ask? Well, you wake up in the dark. As your eyes adjust to the low light, you see the outline of a few beings, though none are in focus. You feel pressure around your arms and legs and see that your limbs are restrained by earthy vines. As you begin to come to, your memories start to come flooding back. There was a stranger in the marketplace who offered to read your fortune. The tent he brought you into was small, but had a fire in the centre of it. And the stranger did something. You remember lots of smoke. You remember coughing, straining for air as he stood above you, all the while laughing. The figures in the dark start to become clearer. A handful of them are wearing coats and masks while one walks closer to you. Ah, so you're finally awake, he says. I was wondering how long it would take you to fight this concoction. Truth be told, I was rather hoping you wouldn't wake up at all, but life is full of disappointments, isn't it? Something strikes you in that moment as definitely odd. Pidge and Borb, this is one voice you recognise almost from a half-forgotten dream, but there's no mistaking it. Nesgrax, you've heard tell of some of the group's past adventures, and that silky smooth voice definitely sounds like something they've described before. And the being talks again. He says, I think we're just about done here, so I'll send you back to your plane. You've been very helpful, all of you. Say hello to Emiri for me, would you? It'd be a shame if she didn't know I was part of this. It's a pity she missed out on all the fun, but I have to say this whole thing would have been much more trouble with that monocle of hers. Anyways, darlings, I can't be keeping you. Places to be, things to do, chaos to sow. You know the drill. Anyway, tell the gang Loki says, what's up? He clicks his fingers and the world explodes around you. Thank you for joining us on
Oh,
this
God.
episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. Withers in this world, or is it this world? Who even knows anymore?
Who knows?
Was Nesgrax.
Oh, thank you. I'm just so glad I got to kiss someone and I didn't die.
Borb.
Hello, this fun, but me know what to do again.
And perhaps having one of the most confusing days of her life, Pidge.
You leave Pidge measuring her bedroom wall and floor distances very carefully, setting the eggs underneath her pillow, the mannequin sleeping on top of the bed and her sleeping under it. She's fine.
She's absolutely fine.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. You can find more adventures on Amazon.com in the bookstore, Fire Breathing Kittens, all one word, podcast. That's right, you can curl up with a good book based on one of our podcast episodes. The authors do a really great job of adapting them into fun novels. And did you know that we have webcomics? Look for the adventures of Fire Breathing Kittens on webtoons.com. We also have official merchandise on redbubble.com. Yes, that's right. You really can own a notepad with the Fire Breathing Kitten logo on the front. Or one of your favorite characters. Go to redbubble.com and search for works from your favorite characters such as Frath, Amonist, Azreen, and more.